Okay, am I on? Am I back on? Okay. It's showing that it's back on. Alright. I swear, if my computer keeps just alt deleting my microphone setup. Don't say I'm still muted. You know I'm back on. I can see the bar going off now. Alright. Howdy do everyone. My name is Angie. You'd think that we'd stop having the scuff this late into streaming, but you know, we're still having it. Anyways, welcome to part 28 of our life. Stop saying, oh, Oliver, I'm so sorry. My hand went back and apparently Oliver was climbing behind me. Oh, poor baby. No, come back here. Oliver. Oh. Oh well, shame on you. I didn't mean to. He just left. He's like, well, fine. And he left. I do not abuse my cat. Take that back. Oliver, I can hear you out there. You can come in here. I won't push you away. Come here. I'll put you close to the mic and then you can complain. Nah, he's not even coming in the same room. Apologize now or else I'll get a dislike. Shame Angie's still muted. Yeah, after you just shamed me for that whole thing. Anyways, I have a few announcements today, if anyone even cares about that. So, in other news, I'll be posting a lot more Oliver pics soon to my Twitter and to my Instagram because I love Oliver, so. And I don't hit him or anything, okay? I don't. It was a mistake. But I will be posting a lot more Oliver pictures to Twitter and stuff. That's just incentive to go there. The other thing that I have done, I've come to make an announcement. I've come to bargain or something like that. My other announcement is that I have just, as of 10 minutes ago, made a Throne account. This was after a few suggestions from the last stream. I decided to go ahead and make a Throne account. So if you guys, there's nothing on it right now, nothing wishlisted. I'll put more stuff on it, but I thought this would be a good way for us to like crowdfund stuff together. So like, you know, new art for the channel, commissions for space, a VTuber model eventually. This is where I can point people if we want to like crowdfund stuff like that. Still have a cold. Voice is still a little scratchy. We're working on that. It's getting better. It's been getting better all week. But on that note, that's it for my announcements, honestly. I thought I had more, but I'm thinking about it, and no, I think that was it. Just the Throne account and more Oliver pictures. Enjoy! And if anyone missed it, I will say, we dropped some pretty big lore in the last video. I did timestamp where the lore parts were in that video, so if you want to watch the subscriber special and you just want to know about the lore that I dropped, it is timestamped there. You can go and watch it and only have to watch those parts. But chat did vote on the next bit I drop, and that will be revealed in the next subscriber milestone, which will be 500 subscribers. I'll do other stuff for like 300 and 400. They just won't be lore drops. So next lore drop will be at 500. But we'll still celebrate when we get to like 300 and 400, just different stuff. Video, you don't do those. I do videos. I just, more people watch my streams, to be honest. And I'm not consistent with videos, and so YouTube hasn't picked up anything, so. But I do videos occasionally. I'm trying to get way more into them. And eventually I'll get into shorts, too. One day. One day. Anyways, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get started. For anyone that's new to book club, we read visual novels. You guys, if you manage to beat me to choices can be the ones that suggest any of the choices I do in the visual novel. So you guys honestly can just direct how this story goes. This isn't my bedroom. What's going on? Also, you guys can request Oliver pictures. Only one request per person. Keep them reasonable. Don't, put them in front of anyone's faces, but other than that, you guys can do basically whatever you want. I don't apply to that rule. If you want to put them in front of my face, you are welcome to. Let's see. By the way, speaking of Oliver pics, put a small one right at the end of the hairline. My hairline? I'd like to spin my request to veto whatever Josh comes up with. I think a couple of people have requested to do that now. Josh has like 3 people wanting to veto him. Alright, let's see if I can find an Oliver that hasn't been tarnished. Has this one? Let's find out. Yes, normal Oliver. Like right here? Like above the lure? Or right here at the lure? Or right here at the lure? Which one you want? Very, very small at the end. Got it, got it. I'm luring Oliver. I'm luring you guys in with Oliver. Sure, you can resist me, but can you resist me with a cat? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Josh's Olivers are not very popular. Did you see what Josh did last time? Damn, she's right, we can't. Oliver needs to be on the bed. All right, we have another Oliver request. Okay, let's see. This one is here. Oliver is lounging on the pillow. I'm gonna have to move these Olivers as Baxter comes in. All right. Now, no 2 summer evenings in Sunset Bird looked quite the same. I'll say again, this is not my room. Where are we? I'd like not to veto Josh and give away the request to Josh. So he has 2. Oh, Josh has 2 requests now. That's chaotic. And now there will be a floating small Oliver in the middle of the screen forever. Yeah, because you know I'm gonna forget it. Not downtown, not at the beaches, and not on a street, where the only change that anyone had seen in years was the arrival of a new tourist. Okay, bye, I'll be back. Have fun, remember to hydrate. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to hydrate. My throat is all wonky. Also, I'm really gonna be suffering with you guys here because I was stupid and forgot to eat today. I got distracted and forgot to eat today. And so now I'm really hungry. And so this whole stream, I'm gonna be really hungry. So let's suffer together. You guys get to suffer through Baxter. I get to suffer from no food. Eat Filbert? Not on screen. That would traumatize you guys. Though you hadn't seen any stars in the sky, you knew the day was almost over from the sound of chirping crickets. Shadows of swaying branches were stretching across the grass. Well, probably. You hadn't gotten the chance to experience the sunset before you got pulled into whatever this was while trying to clarify your plans for tomorrow with Baxter. What is this exactly? I'm really concerned that we're not in our room. He paced back and forth between a pair of half-packed or half-unpacked, depending on how someone saw it, suitcases. Piles of folded clothes were abandoned on the bed. Oh, we're in his room. All right, chat, first choice of the day. Look at how perfect Oliver fits in between these boxes. It's perfect. I love that. He's just perfectly in the middle. 3, got it. You laid out across the top half of the bed. All right. Baxter didn't mind where you were. Happy to work around you. Or more probably, he just didn't notice. He accidentally threw a pair of rolled up socks on your face earlier. He apologized profusely for it. Oliver, I hear you over there. Come here. Say hi to chat. Oliver, don't you love chat? Oh, hey, you came in. You came in real fast. You sprinted, buddy. You do love chat. Here you are, meow into the mic. Do it. Do it for chat. Nope, that's climbing on top of my table. Please don't do that. Nope. Alright, he jumped off. Doesn't seem like he's gonna do it. Sorry, chat. Let's see. Hello, Fish Lady. Congratulations about the lore drop. I would like to pass my request to that duck that I completely don't know. This is low-key cheating. This is low-key cheating. Oliver, no! Oliver, don't chew on the cords, okay? Oliver, come here. Come here. Come here. Oliver, please. Why do the cords entice you more than me? I'm watching you. I'm watching you, Oliver. Alright. Oliver sprints to receive love from people that love him. Of course! You angered Oliver with your dishonest tactics. Apparently. Oliver. Please. That's my headphones. Oliver, please. Okay, well, he stops every time I look at him, so... Thanks, Mr. Horse, I also don't know. This is definitely cheating. Alright, let's see. We read this. Baxter threw socks in our face. Rude. This wasn't the first time. Ooh! Oliver, you're talkative again. Come here. Chance. Okay. Oliver, you're on my lap. Say something to the audience. Well, you're rubbing your head against the mic. Oliver. Okay, well, he's not gonna do it. But he is sitting next to us now. Hey! Don't swat at my tablet pen! Okay. You talk like last time Dr. Zomboss didn't make an entire army through request. Yes, but that was a single request. Yes, Oliver, you are loved here, away from the violent fish. No! We're a package deal, okay? If you love Oliver, you also have to love me. Alright, this wasn't the first time that you've been in the condo. Baxter invited you over before, but so far it'd only been the first floor. You were in the master bedroom now. Oh god, we're in his room. Oh god, we're in his room. As a kid, the condo was the equivalent of Fort Knox. No way in, and if someone unwanted did sneak inside, there was probably no way out. It just wasn't worth the risk. Being in that room was closer to a fantasy than it was reality, as much as someone could dream about being in a rental bedroom anyways. That isn't how it works. You can make 5 wishes in one sentence and say it's just one for a genie. Well, here's the thing. If it's funny, I'll let you make as many requests as you want. That's how it works, if I'm being honest. If you guys are funny with your requests, yeah, I'll bend it. Turn the stream off. Nope. All right, let's see here. Where were we? And yet, here you were, all thanks to Baxter, who didn't seem to realize the gravity of the situation. One of the doors to the, armoire, his word for it. I was like, who says it like that? Never mind. I see what we're doing. Was ajar. Hangers rattled from the excessive force Baxter used to remove a few of his jackets. Honestly, you weren't sure why he packed them at all. It never got cold enough anywhere in Southern California to wear outerwear during the winter, never mind the summer. And yet, he still brought them, no matter how much he was convinced otherwise.
So...
Oh god, what voice do I use for you? I forget every single time. I was too busy thinking about the request. Did Baxter kidnap us? No. No, I don't think so. I think we're just staying at his house for some reason. He could have kidnapped us, I don't know, but we seem rather calm for that. It will be cooler in temperature, but just barely. While we won't be seeing any snow, I would suggest you bring a jacket and a sturdy pair of shoes. He pulled another zipper on one suitcase, peering into its contents, but not deeply investigating for long before he moved to the next thing, a drawer filled with nothing that he abruptly shut. Oh no. Guys, it's worse than I thought. We're taking a trip with him. We're taking a mountain trip with him. Who's this Baxter guy and why does he look like that? Who wants to start? I don't want to corrupt the innocent. Who wants to start with that one? If he kidnapped us, it'd be a plus for his personality, to be honest. Honestly? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We might get somewhere, actually. What's that even supposed to mean? I get it. Josh, I get it. You don't have to explain anything to me. I understand. Isn't there something missing in the left corner? Like what? Would you like to request something in the left corner? Huh? I'm having way too much fun with these toggles, huh? You can request something in the left corner. Just the no, it's not a request. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. He wided past the only part of his wardrobe that remained neat and in place, formal clothes. The suit he wore to the interactive play was the perfect arrangement for use at any minute, in case there was another regal emergency. Oliver, if you pull that plug, my computer goes off. I'm in a hostage situation right now. I'm in a hostage situation, Oliver. Yes, follow my hand. Not near that. Mm-hmm. Good. Good, kitty. No pulling the plug on Angie's only source out of the abyss. Do it, Oliver. Pull the plug. No. Oliver wouldn't do that because, and you guys wouldn't want that either because then he'd be trapped with me forever. Do you want that, guys? Do you want us both at the bottom of the ocean forever? Actually, I have a request. Can you cover Baxter's face with a 360 picture of his face? Huh. That goes against my rule of covering Baxter's face. That is funny, though. Wait. Yes, Oliver, do you have a suggestion? Do you guys hear that? He's finally close enough. I think the mic can pick him up. Do it, Oliver. Make my request true. Turn everything off. No. Find the lowest resolution picture possible. Dear God. I think I only have one picture of him that I used for a thumbnail and had to cut out. The problem with this, the rules have already gone to complete chat. Hold on. I haven't agreed quite yet. The problem with this is that it does cover up the options, which is part of the reason why I've been banning faces, or banning covering the faces too much, is that it does cover the option choices, which makes it harder for people to, like, vote in stuff. And that is kind of my, why I've been trying not to cover certain things. So as funny as that is, I'm gonna have to deny that request, Josh. I like that mindset, but I'm gonna have to deny it. Anyway, that's strike one for Josh. Let's see here. The play was perfectly arranged for use at any moment in case there was another regal emergency. Yeah, I suppose if you're going to the mountains, you're not going to need that. A denied request is still spent. No, not spent. Not spent. Just a strike. You know, like the YouTube strike system, you got a strike. What does a strike do? You'll find out when you reach 3. Baxter hesitated before leaving that be. His fingers grazed the top of the comforter as he passed. Rain, if you would. You moved aside as he wove through an increasingly intricate disaster area to look for something else that he hadn't made clear to you. It seemed that up until now, Baxter had been living out of his suitcases, which wouldn't ordinarily strike you as a problem, until he said he needed at least one of them to be empty. I mean, I live out of my suitcase all the time when I go on vacations. It is just a natural state for me. I don't know, I know I'm gonna pack them all up soon anyway, so I never unpack them whenever I'm on vacations. If only so that he could relocate his things from one to another. He was certain that he'd need no more than an afternoon to pack before you arrived. It would be a good prank to throw colorful paint in Baxter. Just throw paint on his face. Well, I sent you a 360 cutout of his face anyways. What? You sent me what? Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong button. Wait a second. In fact, you did! That is, in fact, A 360p cutout of him. I'm not surprised, I suppose. But also, how painful was it to get that? How much pain were you in to get that? Is this your request, Josh? Do you want that? Do you want this in? Do you want me to add it? But there were some things in the world that not even the likes of Baxter Ward could handle with grace and composure. No. It still makes me oddly mad that he likes black and white things just because of his initials. I can't put it into words. I can't, like, say why it makes me so irritated. But it does. Cover your own face with Baxter, then, Angie? This is not a request, just a joke. You don't want Baxter to be my face? Not at all. I took a screenshot of his face and cropped his body out of it. Slap it in the opposite corner. Live Baxter reaction. I could do that. One second. Let's see here. Go to images. Take something, take that. Here we go. It's our live Baxter reaction. He's just watching this play out, watching chat slowly like him. Darn, Ruin took my idea. They got their request to do that before I could. Here's my request, put the 360p head on his shoulder. Like a freakish low resolution second mutant head. Got it! One second. Oop, almost took the entire screen out. There we go. And it's not a PNG, so it's just going to look like that. I won't waste my request yet. Just taking your time there. Slowly taking your time. Where are Cove and Derek? No one's requested them yet. Would you like to? But you've already had a request, so it can't be you, can it? Can't be you. I needed to be that expression. That's his worst expression. I don't know what you're talking about. Perfect. Great. I see this is all going to plan. Man, I'm pretty low energy when I don't have food, huh? Well, like, this is low energy for me. I haven't had any food. I'm so hungry. Someone feed me. Next, where are we? We've read this, right? Yes. Mornings were one. Personal organization was another. Oh no, he's relatable. He's bad with mornings and he can't organize? Huh. I must apologize. He stopped in place. The corners of his eyes softened as he turned to you, brows knit together, even as he busied his hands with folding a pair of pants, only to immediately throw it into the suitcase. I realize this can be terribly entertaining. I'm fine. It was always nice talking to Baxter, but honestly, it was also a little bit of a relief to not have to try to keep up with him the whole time. It left you with more time to think. Shoves a sweet fruit against my screen. Hold on, maybe if you bring it closer, I'll be able to eat it. It's so bad that not even a sea monster can swallow. I tried last episode. It didn't work out, remember? I sent an upgrade of Bookworm's request to you. Hold on, what did I get sent? I can always count on my mods. I hope Space walks into this. I hope with all of my heart that Space walks into this. Alright, here we go, guys. You ready for it? There it is! Put him right there. Perfect! This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm living for. Oh my god. I need to hurry up and get the Discord activated so I can do more memes like this. Alright, where were we? It was always nice talking to Baxter. But honestly, it was also a little bit of a relief to not have to try to keep up with him the whole time. It left you with more time to think. Wait, nope, can't say it right. That is one of your charm points. In for a penny, in for a pound. He chuckled, shaking his head with quiet amusement. Why is it so hard for me to read your lines, Baxter? It's not like they're hard. Content with your reply, he went back to unconsciously constructing a labyrinth of his possessions. You wondered how he fit everything into 2 suitcases to begin with. This entire situation made about as much sense as anything else around him, which was to say that maybe a quarter of it followed any linear train of thought. The rest left much to be desired. Baxter had a tendency to work through things in a sort of why can't I speak today? Chat, why can't I speak today? Is it the lack of food? Hello, how are you today? By the way, back with my Our Life How to Train Your Dragon AU. Nice. I'm doing good today. How are you doing, Okapi? I have a little bit of a cold, though, and an inability to read, apparently. Baxter had a tendency to work through things in a sort of circuitous sense, his own logic that he used to explain things as a matter of fact. So much that you couldn't help but just take him at his word, even if the details only made themselves clearer later. Set a spinning filbert on the screen? I don't have a spinning filbert. I don't even know if I have a PNG of filbert, to be honest. You think I would, but I don't think I do. I've never had to make a PNG of him yet. What was happening now was even more convoluted than normal. The first point, Baxter very suddenly announced he was going on a vacation away from his vacation. A 3-day, 2-night jaunt to a mountain lodge, a handful of hours away by his judgment. Plans were already underway as soon as he figured out where he was staying in California. Guys, I have a, sinking suspicion that we are going on an overnight trip with Baxter. We might be in for it now. Perfect, do it now. Delay stream. Make a spinny gif of Filbert. That'll take too long. I don't know, does one of my mods want to make a spinny gif of Filbert? It made sense if he was trying to get more bang for his buck for his experience in the area, but that wasn't the main reason. The second point, it was a family tradition happening without his family. Please kidnap us, Baxter. Please become the yandere I know you can be. Ah, we're wanting the yandere route here. I see. Is that the only way we'll love Baxter? Is if it becomes a yandere? I'll make it very clear, if we have the option to reject Baxter, as we had in the last story, I will spam it. I figured you would. Somehow, I think a lot of people are going to jump on that option. I can try my darndest if I can find a way to get a GIF maker to awkwardly rotate a PNG of Filbert. If we can get space, I think she might have a PNG of Filbert. With my mod's powers combined, we might be able to do this request. However, space doesn't get off till 4, so... Chat's gonna have to try and delay me till then. He and his parents always went to the Rockies in the summer, except this time he was staying in California. Baxter decided to make a trip out to the mountains here regardless. This guy irritates me innately, in a similar way to Lawrence from Fire Emblem Three Houses. He has yet to actually do anything and I still dislike him. You are not far off from that Lawrence accusation, though I will say I like Lawrence a lot more than I like Baxter. Lawrence had his good moments. You know, he had his good moments in between a lot of... You know what I'm talking about. Baxter, on the other hand, we have yet to see. Alright, let's continue. And that was also fine, except he wasn't prepared for the trip at all. In the way of, I know you're not a bad person, but damn, you're easy to dislike. Ooh, you nailed it exactly. Now, a lot of my chat will go ahead and say they think Baxter is a bad person. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people here that think that. You would have thought that someone else planned when and where it happened, with the way he was rushing around the condo trying to pack and trying to remember what to do. And point 3, the most peculiar, he rented a second room in the lodge, despite coming here alone and to visit no one in particular. He did have some acquaintances in this state, but none of them were people he wanted to take a trip with. Audaciously, after explaining the situation, he asked you to take up the free room without missing a beat. You, a person who dated him for all of half a second. Got it? Sent you something, Angie? What? Oh my god. One second. Oh no, why isn't it letting me download it? Oh no! Why isn't it letting me download it? It's let me download all the others, why can't I download this one? Okay, it's looking like it's happening. Alright. We might be safe after all. Oh, okay, good. Oh, I was so worried for a second. Okay. It's not showing up on here, I don't think. Hold on, there we go! Alright, Ruin! We got your request! Perfect. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted, Bruin? This was incredible. All right, Josh, all of your strikes have been taken away. Good job. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we... Spinning Filbert. He's beautiful. You know, another thing that's kind of bothering me is this little Oliver here. I think I need to make him a little lower. There. So he's right on the tip. Perfect. You guys are more lured in now, right? Lured in with my cat. Can't resist him, right? Anyway, I've been putting off finishing some important cleansing that I have to do. So I'll be less active in chat now. Yeah, do your chores! Alright, I'm gonna get back to reading. Will that make you hungry, Angie? A spinning filbert might tempt you. I mean, I am hungry, you are correct. I could eat it. I mean, Ruin did say that I should eat a filbert earlier, didn't he? So it only makes sense that I eat the one right beside me, right? Put a spinning filbert all over the screen. You already requested one spinning filbert, don't be greedy. I'll make him bigger for you, though. I should make this like my little notification for whenever someone donates or whatever. It just shows up. That'd be kind of cute, actually. Something like that. A couple's trip was the kind of thing that was more appropriate for months down the line something to cement a relationship as steady. But apparently being together at all was plenty enough for Baxter. The weekend was free, and your moms were able to accept the idea of you going. They were able to accept the idea of me going? I think my parents would have had a lot of questions for me if I was, going on a 2-night trip with a guy that I was just now dating. And like, what, I'm still like 19 maybe? 18, 19 in this game? So like, yeah, my parents would have had a few choice words. It was an amazing opportunity, yet you second-guessed doing it every step of the way. Baxter insisted you weren't troubling him by coming. He'd been the one who invited you, but you were nervous about it anyway. Negotiating with your moms went better than expected. They hadn't vetoed it immediately because you were an adult, but they weren't excited about the idea. Okay. I was wondering if they would care at all. Okay, good. It was one thing if you were going on a trip with the usual cast of suspects, but Baxter? A guy you basically met the other day? He was polite and well-spoken. However, your moms didn't know his parents, a rule that you thought was obsolete once you were in high school, but not so when it came to overnight trips. At least they cared. Exactly. I was worried for a second, but no, they did have concerns about it. Okay. At least they had concerns. They eventually gave their blessings when Liz took your side in the discussion. She was convinced by the fact that you'd be staying in an entirely separate room to him. Oh, Liz. Liz. What are you doing? You're not helping. You're not helping this, Liz. Now we have to stay with Baxter for 2 nights. I suppose that's what we want. In the story, at least, not us. I'm sure he's American Psycho. I don't know about that. I think he'd be more interesting if he was. Alright. Alright, chat. Have fun deciphering what that Baxter is censoring. Choose what we do. This feels like Rain really wanted out of the trip and nearly had an out until Liz showed up to dunk on our escape plan. Liz, how could you? I mean, the title of the episode is We're Not Escaping Baxter, so I guess that was more true than I thought it was. 1. Alright, I've got to ask. What was your plan if I said I couldn't go? Making the trip alone would not have dissuaded me from going. Baxter's hand stalled over the suitcase he was bringing on the trip. He brushed back his hair into place, turning to his side to search for another misplaced necessity. I thought there was a possibility I might make friends during my stay here, though there was no guarantee, of course. I wouldn't hope to make any presumptions there. I've got to ask, I assume. Yes, you were correct. But the ad-lib sure is fun, isn't it? His gaze wandered, lips tightening at the corners of his mouth, involuntarily. His contemplative expression faltered as he looked up from his suitcase to you. But I thought that if I did, then would the trip not be made exceptionally better with company? If not, then so be it. Acquiring a room is the difficult part. A reservation needs to be made weeks in advance, whereas canceling one only needs a notice of 48 hours or more. It's taken off the bill, no questions asked. Realistically, I would only need 2 days to know if I was going alone or with company. See? That was the case with you, was it not? It's just the way he talks. It's just the way he talks. A wall with 2 scratches is more attractive. Yeah, that's what we're going with. Alright, guys. Good luck with whatever that says. Go ahead and throw it a number and I'll try to guess what you guys are talking about. He's such a know-it-all. Exactly. It's like condescending. 4? You're certainly an optimist? Better an optimist than a pessimist, I say. Nah, crap, I say the same thing. Baxter went back to packing, though his suitcases looked to be middling in quantities, more now than they'd been earlier in the evening. 38? Nah. You were a little late there, Josh. He glanced over his shoulder at you, a black shirt folded in his hands as neatly as any store display you'd seen in your life. This might not be an ideal time to ask, but as we are speaking about the trip, I did want to ask to where your personal boundaries lie, Rain. What are you asking me? What are you asking me? What are you asking me? I am deeply appreciative of your mother's approval, but what I am comfortable with might not mirror what they are comfortable with. Baxter. Baxter, depending on what you say. You better be real careful right now. He can sleep on the floor. Unfortunately, this isn't Cove. You only need to say so if you are in agreement with their preferences, but if not... Baxter, I swear to God. Baxter, I swear to God. Baxter, I swear to God. What did I join into? What do you think this is? There's just Filbert swinging over here, a live Baxter reaction, a mutated head off of Baxter, Oliver on a lure so you can't leave. Baxter had a tendency to act a lot older than he actually was. It was times like this, when he smirked entirely too mischievously, that you were reminded he was barely any older than you. I may forget by the time we get there. Don't you? There was a fine line for when Baxter was joking or not, but he was serious about not enforcing any rules if you told him you weren't interested. You couldn't count on him to keep you on the straight and narrow. You couldn't count on him to keep you on the straight and narrow. Moms were hoping Liz could come along, too, so I wouldn't be alone. Oh gosh, we have an adult! We got an adult! Oh my god! Can I request real Oliver pictures? Yes, actually, you can. I will accept real Oliver pictures. What one do you want? Was there any yesterday that you really liked? I can add real Oliver. Swim away as fast as you can. No, you're not allowed to swim away. Which Oliver picture do you want? You can't leave. You're not leaving. I like the one where he looked blinded. Which one? There's a couple that he looks blinded. The first one? Hold on. Let's see here. Are we talking about this one? He's gonna take up the whole screen for a second. This one? This Oliver picture? Yes, that one. Cool. We need to do it for him, Oliver meme. I think. I think that should be the next one we do. Is there a white line on the screen? At the top? Why is that there? That's never been there before, I don't think. Is that the real Oliver? Yes it is! Yeah, yesterday on stream, I was showing a bunch of Oliver pictures. Like, since you guys don't follow my Twitter, I'll just show you guys a bunch of Oliver photos. Alright, let's see. We should rate my Oliver photos, I think. Send me the raw pictures and I'll make it like an hour and a half. You're on my Twitter. You can see all of the pictures. Can you not rip them off? Oh. He didn't look surprised by the suggestion, apparently aware of how it must have and certainly did come off to your parents to invite their youngest on an overnight trip. I'm following Twitter just for Oliver. I've noticed a few of you do that. I've gotten a few followers since yesterday's stream. But she argued I wasn't going out of state and I'm not still a kid. I just have to call Liz every day. Ah, damn it, we don't have an adult. Oh, no. She won't let me get away with texting. If I don't, she said she'll call the hotel instead, and the police, and anyone with the phone number to report that Pepe Le Pew was on the loose. Oh, that's good. Calling Baxter Pepe Le Pew. I like that, actually. Twitter forced me to follow someone to start, did they? Okay, now you grab a small sharp object and hide it in your pocket for safety. Obviously. Personally, I like to go with box cutters, but my last box cutter was thrown away because apparently taking it through mall security isn't an option. That was a fun story. I really did take a box cutter through mall security without realizing I had it. It was in my purse for reasons. And I didn't realize I still had the box cutter in there. And mall security stopped me and was just like, what's that? And I was like, oh shit. And so they threw it in the trash can. But yeah, that was a whole thing. I completely forgot I had a box cutter in my purse. 1 hour in and this is already weirder than usual. Actually, this feels pretty par for the course. Honestly, did you see last stream when we had all the green Baxters everywhere? Elon tries forcing himself into my Twitter feed. I see. Mall security, you got stopped by mall security? No, it was actually like a walk-through security thing. So like, there was an event at the mall and we were walking through it. And so like, it was like a walk-through security where they search your purse and everything. And yeah, they searched my purse. And there was a box cutter, which I was obviously not allowed to bring into the event. Let's see. Baxter snorted, not laughed, full-on snorted. He covered his mouth, quickly avoiding your gaze as he had to resist the urge to laugh harder. You didn't know whether he'd seen the original cartoons or one of the most recent uses of the character, but he definitely got the reference. I was prepared to give your sister my thanks for convincing your mothers, but it appears everyone has notes on my manner of dress these days. Yeah, Mom jokes that those old-fashioned black and white striped jumpsuits inmates wore would match your hair. You know, if Liz did call the police on you. Do my parents and Liz just roast this guy? Every time he's not here? Is that what happens? Do my parents and Liz just roast Baxter? Of course I saw the one with the green Baxters. I was pretty much the reason for green Baxters. No, you're fine, you're fine. It doesn't come off as rude at all. Yeah, wasn't that the zombie guy though? Zomboss or something? Wasn't that it? Some weird zombie took my phone. Oh, that was it, that was it. Let's see, where are we? What are we doing? Who's this guy that's, we're getting kidnapped by? Based parents. Don't say based this yet. They're still letting us go on an overnight trip with him. Without an adult. How clever. Is a black and white tie out of vogue, Rain? No. Relaying the story back to him was embarrassing, but that had been the truth, and as funny as it was, part of you regretted sharing his vague resemblance to an aggressively forward skunk. Baxter chuckled as he put away another pair of pants, the number of which you'd long lost count of, as he went back and forth. How many days are we packing for? How many days are we packing for? Maybe they want you gone, and he's rich. I mean, that's actually, Hey! Wait a second! Trying to marry me off or get me killed, apparently. Your family is quite charming, and I do agree that is only fair. Try to keep in touch with them while you're away. I'll trust you care for my fate enough to do that much. Okay, guys. Choose. Choose an option. Shrug. Okay, we shrug. I don't know, maybe we won't just tell Liz at all. I would hate for them to worry. The itinerary for the trip was straightforward enough that Baxter didn't need to look at his laptop to read the details. He kept to his work on the suitcases. Check-in wasn't until 4 p.m. at the earliest, and the drive wasn't so significant that you'd be going for as long as you'd feared. So the plan was to leave at noon, find dinner somewhere in the area when you got there, and then check into the lodge in the evening. The first day would be getting there. The second would be exploring the area in earnest, while the third would be taking the morning easy before checking out at noon to head back home. Baxter is a offensive blub. Hey now, don't use that type of language here. I can understand those blubs, you know. Well, home for you, vacation for Baxter. It was perfectly reasonable according to him. He wouldn't be overextending himself to prepare on either of the big driving days, and you'd have a good amount of time in the lodge. Besides, if he drove that much early in the morning, you were pretty confident you wouldn't make it back in one piece. Right, bad with mornings. He did drive us that one morning though, didn't he? Upon further inspection of Baxter's own supplies, there were a few things left to pack and a few more things you needed to buy. I don't suppose we'll need any formal wear, really. But on the off chance that we have dinner at a restaurant that necessitated that... Oh my god, Baxter. One Piece reference where? Baxter is putting Oliver to sleep. Doesn't he do that naturally? I mean, sleep. Oliver does that naturally. Even when I talk, even when everyone talks. It doesn't matter, he'll just sleep. Where did he go, anyways? He was eating my power cords earlier. Now I don't know where he went. I'm a little scared, to be honest. I blame Josh. You hear that, Josh? Chad always blames you. It's usually always his fault, so. The chaos on these streams actually are usually always his fault, now that I think about it. I think it'll be okay with that. But I'll see you tomorrow, Baxter. I gotta pack too. Good luck. As you started to make your way out of the master bedroom, his head snapped up. Oh, of course. I will see you tomorrow, Rain. Have a good evening. Morning came uneventfully, save the final warning from your family about how they'd deploy a full-fledged investigation team the minute that something seemed off. You agreed that you would call daily, but it didn't do much to dissuade the endless worrying. They were ready to play detective again, except it wasn't a joke this time. They had a feeling that they'd make good on hunting you down with dogs if they had to. Liz didn't pull any punches either, least of all after your family helped you load your things into the back of Baxter's car. Ma and Liz pulled you into a hug as Mom shut the trunk with a click of finality before she joined in the squeeze. Don't forget that I'm watching him, Rain. I'll come get you if you need me to. Just say the word. Doesn't matter when, okay? You nodded in reply. They meant well, and that was the only reason they kept reminding you to stay safe, even though they'd said it at least 1,000 times since you got up this morning alone. Liz gently squeezed your shoulder, offering the relaxed smile she'd given all day. Right, I trust Rain to do her job, but Baxter. You'll be careful with our child, won't you? You couldn't see what their faces looked like because of the way that they held you. However, you could hear the apprehension in Baxter's tense laugh. I want nothing more than to see this moment drawn. I want fan art of just this moment. I spend all 5 minutes over a burning hot phone screen, making memes for chat, and this is the thanks I get. Seems like it, they're not appreciating it. Meme harder, Josh, meme harder. They know he's a serial killer, and yet they're still letting me go? Live Baxter reaction, a spinning picture of a fish. It's Filbert! A smug-looking cat. It's Oliver! I love the memes. It's a perfect day. Honestly, if only I could eat, it would be more perfect. I'm so hungry. Please feed me. Of course. You have my word, ma'ams. A perfectly gentlemanly response from him, as always. As you were freed, Baxter made his way to the passenger side. He opened the door for you with a sweep of his arm. Didn't it say we were leaving at noon? Spinning corn when? No. No spinning corn. No spinning corn. Bye. Moms and Liz waved you off as you slid inside the car, shutting the door behind you. As soon as the seatbelts clicked, the engine roared to life. You reversed out of the driveway and rumbled away from your neighborhood to the freeway. The familiar sight of Sunset Bird eventually gave way to Prism Vista City, then to open space between here and there. You couldn't smell the salt in the air anymore, and for a moment it felt odd to remember that there weren't beaches everywhere that you went, even in the same state. Looks like Liz has an Oliver necklace. Did it? Oh, Oliver necklace would be so cool. Backflipping fish. Eating corn when? Fish do not eat corn. Not my fish. But backflipping fish might be interesting. Get on it, Josh. We're waiting. More merch ideas. Yeah, slowly but surely I'll collect a bunch of merch ideas from you guys. Sure, we'll go with that. The radio set to classical music gave a nice backtrack to Baxter's storytelling of other trips he'd taken with his parents up to the Rocky Mountains. Really? Classical music? What happened to the metal music? Isn't Baxter a metal fan? That's like one of the good things about him. I mean, I like classical music too. I did used to blast it all the time. But where's metal music? Oh no, I have hiccups. That might be a problem. Oh well, time to keep reading. Those memories gave an idea of what to expect when you arrived at the cabin. Even though he'd glazed over some of the details, he even mentioned older experiences. One of which included getting chased across a river by what he and his family thought was a bear, but turned out to be a particularly chubby dog who wanted to be friends. Okay, never mind, I want to see that as fan art. I am in like 30-degree weather. I have an hour tops of daylight left to get this chore done. Or tomorrow's annoying for me. Spare me the work. Aww. Well, be safe out there, okay? I mean, I'll never tell you to meme over your life or anything. But if you have the time. The ride was as smooth as it could be, except for the occasional congestion of traffic. That was always inevitable this time of year. Baxter wasn't the only tourist. No. Excuse me. I felt it coming and I had to rush that sentence out. We also need fish plushies too. It's my dream. One day I dream to have a plushie of my own. Bless you, thank you. Also in California, traffic is just year-long. That doesn't stop. That's not just a time of year thing. Traffic is always in California. Depending on where you are in California, too, it is worse than you can imagine. Like, LA? Anywhere over there? God. God have mercy on your soul. I love having an Oliver on my split view. Oliver makes everything better. Eventually, the mess of freeways came down to 2 lanes as the elevation grew steeper and steeper. Roads cut through canyons, giving a scenic view. You still texted your friends and family between conversations and sightseeing until you lost signal. By the time you hit your first official checkpoint, it was late in the day. You stopped at a roadside diner for a bite to eat before finishing the last leg of the trip. You offered to drive, but Baxter waved it off. It was already enough that you came at all. Making conversation with you also made it less of a dull task, so he didn't mind. Oh my god, the sun is exploding. Oh, well, you know, it happens. Ready for extinction? And maybe it was better that way, since Baxter was renting it. If anything did happen, it'd complicate matters if he wasn't driving. After the short final stretch, the car rolled to a stop at the front of a massive log hotel. Yes, extinction, yum? What, are you the extinction? Are you the cause of it? I don't know if I want the answer to that. It towered over your head. When you stepped out of the vehicle, Baxter handed the keys over to the attending valet. The lodge was somehow both rustic and fancy at the same time. For an oversized wooden cabin, the doors had big, elaborate wrought handles that were sure must have cost a pretty penny. Probably I might eat every human to cause that, including myself. That's talent. Eating yourself? I never got to play Silksong in the rest of Deltarune. Hey, they announced on Twitter today that they are in fact working on Silksong. It is in fact a game being made. That's important for my sanity. I find it very funny though that they had to mention, like, yes, it is in fact being made. It's not a rumor, it's true. Silksong exists somewhere. Deltarune though, I don't know when we'll ever get that. I mean, I don't know when we'll ever get Silksong either. It's kind of like, been a long time. But you know, we can dream, right? I still dream. It appears that we have arrived. Baxter rounded his side of the car with bags in hand, smiling comfortably as you stood there empty-handed and stared at the building. It's nice. You didn't know what else to say. The nerves from traveling to the unknown were expounded now that you were confronted with the destination, and an imposing one at that. You both carried your things into the lobby. You hadn't brought enough with you that you'd need to make a second trip. And after all that consternation in his bedroom, Baxter had managed to shave everything he needed down to one bag and suitcase. I'm forcing the Twitter AI to tell me about you, Angie, and it's telling me that you do unboxing stuff and stream on Twitch as well. What? That's false. I've never even said I stream on Twitch. What do you mean it says I stream on Twitch? I have a Twitch. I've never used my Twitch. Does Twitter know something about me that I don't know? Also, unboxing stuff. I mean, we're gonna be unboxing some, Pokemon cards on Wednesday. So, that's something, I guess. It's predicting the future. I mean, one of these days I will actually use my Twitch account, so I suppose it's not wrong. The multiverse. Oh god, what is multiverse me going to be? Nope, wait, I actually have an answer to that one. You guys don't, though. Enjoy me never telling you. I imagine that this Celine Baxter's Light Fury going on vacation with him. I could see that. I at least have another Metroidvania releasing to tide me over while waiting for Silksong and Deltarune. Nice. Which one are you playing right now? I just got a certain mod of mine. Everyone say hi to MZ. For Christmas, got me 9 souls. So expect that playthrough soon. I like eating crab. So do I. They're pretty good, but they pinch back pretty hard. Bye, MC. The AI doesn't know about what you said to that poor Rattata. No, it does not. And in fact does not. Let's see. Where were we? Did we read this? I think so. The lobby was as big as the front of the building suggested. Light piano music tinkled in the background. An untraditional chandelier hung from the ceiling, sunlight shining through the glass doors and reflecting on the carefully cut stonework. A fireplace burned in the far end of the lobby, for whom you could only presume to be guests, but despite all the chairs and couches available on them, there was scarcely a soul. It wasn't cozy, not in the way that you'd expect it to be, given Baxter only described it as a mountain lodge. It was big and impressive, and even the stairwells seemed more fitting for a medieval castle than a homey cabin in the woods. To one side, the front desk was occupied by staff who were busy with helping with a large party. We may be waiting a while. Why don't we set things down? He tugged at the strap of the crossbody bag he had over his shoulder and lifted the suitcase in his hand, gesturing for you to follow to the nearest open seating area, which was all of them. Footsteps echoed around the cavernous room, and when your bags hit the ground, the sound of that did too. Baxter opted to set his bags in one of the chairs instead of sitting. He'd been stuck in the car for so long. He didn't make a point of stretching his legs, though, ostensibly because it would have looked overly casual for a man such as him. So now that you've gotten a look, what is your opinion on our temporary abode? So, what are your opinions, guys, on the log cabin date? My personal opinion on the matter, I love the idea of the dates Baxter takes us on. I just don't like Baxter. Ender Magnolias is releasing in 2 days. I can't wait that long. ASMR hearing the scream of my victims when Angie. That one sounds fun. Actually, that one sounds pretty fun. No joke, I've thought about entering that trend of ASMR videos where it's like, you know, girlfriend freaking dies doing something ASMR. I thought that would be funny. Let's see. And before one of my chatters makes fun of me for saying let's see again. I just heard my sister yell, "I'm awesome sauce, I'm awesome," to her friend. Tracks. Why is Google Indonesia in my recommended section? Why is it? Are you close to Indonesia? Traveling? Let's see. Argentina Lumine. Oh, it is my multiverse self. Way too fancy for a mountain lodge. It's California. Actually, I've been to a few mountain lodges in California that were kind of similar to this. So, honestly, pretty par for the course. By the way, if anyone goes to California and, like, I'm recommending a place to go in the mountains, I'd actually recommend a place called Julian. It's really nice. Not a lot of people go there, and they're known for apple stuff, so they make a lot of apple pie and stuff. It's really nice. Highly recommend. It's a nice little drive, and it's up in the mountains. The air is a lot cooler there. I really like it. So if you're ever in California, that's my recommendation. Of course, it is, Southern California. So you'd have to be in that area. Angie Lumine, ASMR, your fish girlfriend comes to the surface for a date but forgets she doesn't have lungs and air drowns. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. I like that. Air drowns is certainly a word. Oh my gosh, that's good. Alright, I need to come up with some good ASMR like that. That's gold. Backflipping fish, air drowning when. So just like Filbert flopping. I could draw Filbert flopping. I should draw myself flopping. Just draw me flopping on the ground because I still have gills. Perfect. No, you flopping. Exactly. ASMR, your fish tries to stream, but Oliver is eating the cable cords. In human or fish form? Human form, obviously. I mean, full human form? I won't drown. This form? Yeah, I'd probably drown. And then there's just my, we'll call it just regular fish form. Definitely drown. Definitely drown. Definitely dead. Both are technically fish. Yes, yes, both are technically fish. I mean, no matter what, even if it's the human body, there is a fish in there still. In the end, we're still fish. I don't like Baxter. Backstar. Gangstar. JoJo reference. Yes, I connected that. Anyways, what are we saying? Oh, right. That was a question. You guys can answer. Far be it from me to take the answers away from chat. Anyway, good luck with whatever Baxter's head is censoring. Half fish in human form. Up part human, down part fish body, so you don't reveal your feet. Nah, I'm not a mermaid. It wouldn't work like that. I'm not a mermaid. Alright, it's 6. We shrug. It seemed a placating enough reply, so Baxter didn't add anything except for a smile in acknowledgement. He turned his attention to the front desk. Though the situation hadn't improved at all, there were no signs of it clearing up now or in the near future. Rain, would you mind if I made a phone call? Yes. I am considering making a call to my mother. I do not often keep my parents appraised of my day-to-day life, but I do believe they will be glad to know I arrived at this secondary vacation. His gaze dropped to the floor as his hand idly sneaked into his pocket to fish out his phone. His formerly polite smile became crooked. I am not so bad of a son that I cannot grant them that. Let's see. Filbert for real be like, you spin me right round, baby, right round. I can't actually sing the song because I'll get copyrighted. Let's see. Every time I say those words, I get conscious of the fact I'm saying them now because chat's called me out so long. And now I feel like I have to change it every single time. See what you've done, chat? See what you've done? I'll put like a penalty or something. Angie gets a penalty for saying, let's see. I was expecting you to correct me. You already revealed your feet. I did! Feet reveal already happened. I'm not a mermaid, I'm a human, see? I'm just like you guys. See, I'm a human. Obviously. Right? Fellow humans? You agree that I am completely human? Yes? Why did Baxter kidnap Rain, played by the fish called Argentina Limousine? Argentina Limousine! That's incredible! Isn't that illegal? It makes it more interesting if it is. Say it then? No. I'm just gonna say herb now. That's your laughing. It's like the Japanese W laugh. It's grass. That's the Japanese laugh is grass. Because they type in W. Like, hold on. They type in W like this to laugh. That's like their LOL in Japanese. And so now it's just become grass because the W's all together look like a bunch of grass. So now they just say grass when they're typing for laughter. The more you know. This is an education channel after all. Hey, engine, can you scream? Yeah, you got it! That's the Japanese LOL. It's grass. Yep, kusa. Grass. We are an education channel, actually. Huh, more you know. What do you know? Whoops, I'm typing in chat. I didn't mean to do that. Also, you want me to scream? My throat's a little bad today, so I don't know if that's the best idea. Normally I do it, but my throat's a little today. I can't tell if it's just morning voice, which would be weird because it's not morning for me. Or if I just didn't do enough exercises today, or what? We're really learning from Angry Luma. Oh, my multiverse counterparts are really creative with their naming aspects, huh? Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I don't mind. Thank you. I won't be more than a few minutes. Officially withdrawing his phone, Baxter promptly brought up his contacts and made the call. A hand rested on his hip while the other held the device to his ear. His head craned back towards the high ceiling as he awaited the phone dial. Before a voice too soft for you to hear but loud enough for you to register greeted Baxter. Hello, Mother. It's nice to speak with you. We've arrived at the hotel. The drive went well. He glanced over his shoulder at you before lightly pressing his index finger to his lips, as if to hush you before you could think of saying anything. You couldn't help but wonder if she caught on to the we, considering Baxter came to the state alone in the first place. Yes, I have Rain with me. My neighbor here. Alright, guys. What are we doing? Oh, that sucks, casserole. That's cute! That's cute! 2? Hi, Mrs. Ward! His soft brown eyes lit up with a new warmth, having not expected you to take interest. Rain says hello, Mother. He nodded as she said something in response to him. However, his attention didn't move from you. As the conversation continued on her end, he lightly covered his phone with his hand. She says hello to you, too, Rain. He smirked while his mother continued on in his silence. You weren't honestly sure what that he was listening enough to have caught what she said. This was the closest approximation you'd ever gotten to the vague concept that was Baxter's parents, and it was such a small thing, watching as he spoke to one of them over the phone. It felt so radically different than it did with your other friends. You knew Kyra and Mr. Holden, just like you knew Derek, Randy, and Terry's parents. All you've heard about Baxter's parents, other than that they were educated and old-fashioned, was that they didn't mind sending Baxter off to Sunset Bird for the summer. Hold on, chat. What are you saying? I just noticed that people had talked. Hey, Engine Lamar, add an IRL Oliver pic on your face. I can do that. Are you sure you want to enamor him of you, Andy Ludwig? It's not my choice to make, it's chat's. None of this is my choice to make. It's all chat that decides. Alright, let's add an Oliver pic to my face. Do you know what Oliver picture you want? If you saw the last stream, I showed a bunch of Oliver pictures on that one. But if you don't know which Oliver picture you want, I can add a random one. IRL Oliver. There's a lot of IRL Oliver pictures. I'll add this one. We'll do this one. I'm Oliver now. There he is. There's my boy. Hold on. I'm gonna... Nope. Wrong option. Nope. Still wrong option. Is it this one? Yes. Oh, but this covers that Oliver. There. Now that Oliver doesn't have to be super covered. Soldier of Christ, why art thou hidden? The demon of Babylon wears the skin of the righteous. You guys can't resist me now, right? You guys tried to resist original me. You tried to resist me with an Oliver dangling from my angler, but can you resist this now? Now my face is an Oliver. You can't help but come closer. Oh my god, the face of Baxter in the corner being covered by his face. It's his reaction. Why is the live Baxter reaction titled Baxter? Spinning fish, live Oliver, middle Oliver. There's tons of stuff happening. It's an active screen. Do you want to sneeze when he's on your face? Nah, I'm fine with it. I get suffocated by him all the time. You get used to it. I love the Baxter's mutant extra head is just floating in the middle of the screen. Yeah, every now and then it doesn't actually connect to his head, to his body. So it's just this random floating head just a little bit away from his body. Can we change it to live Oliver reaction? If Josh comes back to make the meme, we sure can. Wait, yeah, the live Baxter reaction is slightly slanted, is it? It doesn't show that it is on my screen. Is it slightly slanted on yours? Huh. I don't know what to do about that. Well, enjoy that, I suppose. Wait, optical illusion? Okay, it's not. Alright. It is, and I can't unsee it. Well, enjoy being bothered by it. All you've heard about Baxter's parents, other than that they were educated and old-fashioned, was that they didn't mind sending Baxter to Sunset Bird for the summer. They wouldn't see him this season, and so you wouldn't see them. You had to wonder if someday you'd get the chance to meet them or speak to them directly. Oh god, we're thinking of our future with him. It's not looking good, chat. It looks like we're falling in love with Baxter. How could you, actual women? Pretty easily, actually. It didn't seem like a priority for Baxter. You were only dating for a little while, though, so maybe it was enough to just let them know that you existed in the first place. After another few hmms and yeses, Baxter's attention shifted to the front desk, which was slowly being vacated by the previous group. Mother, this was lovely, but I do have to take my leave. Take care.
Oh, yes.
You too. And with only a brief goodbye, he hung up and pocketed his phone. He turned towards you, picking up his bag and suitcase. Shall we go and check in? Yeah. You trailed after him with your own luggage. The hotel receptionist smiled from behind the wide counter, her eyes somewhat weary from the day's work. You could relate to the exhaustion of dealing with a large mass of needy people and sent a silent wish that the rest of her day would be uneventful. Good evening. The receptionist nodded, offering her own greeting in reply before asking if you were both checking in. Exactly. I would appreciate your assistance in doing so. The reservation should be for 2 rooms under Baxter Ward. Handing over his driver's license and credit card, the receptionist made quick work of their computer system and slid 2 pairs of plastic cards through the machine. You were going to be in room 194. Baxter was going to have the room next to you, 193. This is it, guys. Our 2-day overnight trip with Baxter. Let's see if we survive. It looks like we're falling in love with Baxter. There is no way I sure as hell ain't. It doesn't matter what you want anymore. It's just the collective. You have become Rain, and if Rain wishes for it, that's just how it is. There's only Rain in that sentence, no we, no chat. You are Rain. You have become Rain. As soon as you made those choices, Rain was you. This is your horror story, chat. This is your horror story. Oh my god. That is actually the cutest thing you could have ever sent me. One second. This is important. This is important. More than me torturing chat, this is so important right now. Alright, hold on. Oliver's going down here. And now this Oliver is going up here. Look what we have! It's a new Oliver picture you guys haven't seen yet. Put this here. Perfect. This stream is going so well. What's the best route to just completely snub Baxter? Baxter's actually the last route we're doing. The best route, I would say, is Cove, because the way this game works, you start as a kid, and Cove is your childhood friend, and you guys grow up together. And so you have like 3 whole sections you get to go through with Cove. Meanwhile, the other 2 love interests, Derek and Baxter, you only have 1 section to go with. And like, I don't know, it's not as good. I definitely say Cove is the best one. Though I do know a lot of people that really like Derek's. I have only met a couple of people that really like Baxter. Let's see. Baxter is the type of guy to trip on the sidewalk and pout the rest of the day. That is true. I said the cursed words, didn't I? I said the cursed words. I don't have a punishment yet. I need some sort of punishment for saying those words. I don't have a undisclosed cinnamon drink with me right now, so I can't use that. Though, admittedly, drunk reading might be fun. Now that I'm thinking about it, drunk book club, this sounds like a fun idea. I'm Rain then. I'm gonna kick Baxter. Then herb. If you're Rain, you beehive box. It's your sport. Wear it with pride. Without my permission, you just moved my son. Yes, I understand. I had to move him. But look, your son is still here. He hasn't left. I just moved him over so we can see all of him in his brilliance. Every time you say it, Reveal, engineer, illuminated lore. I can't reveal lore. I can't do that yet. What, am I just supposed to do like tiny little droplets of it? Okay, guys, here's my lore. Here it is. Here's the small little droplet you're getting. I'm not human. I know, that's shocking. It's too shocking to speak of. I'm sorry you guys had to find out this way. Next! Gasp! I know it's shocking. Please contain yourselves. Say a random letter without the lore? About the lore? A random, like F? A random letter like F? Sure, I'll type F. Letter, not word. Oh my god, after loud is F. Pay respects, chat. Yeah, we're gonna be needing a lot of Fs if I'm getting through my lore. Oh my god, wait a second, Cassie. What did you change your picture to? Are we impersonating Angie? Not my Elmo, my burning Elmo Angie. Oh my god, how did you find that? I know I've used it here and there, but I didn't think there was a clear PNG of it. Random's already impersonating Filbert in his profile pic. That's not Filbert. I know Filbert. That's not Filbert. She picked up a map and drew a few arrows and lines. You were directed to take a left and head up the elevator, or take the stairs to the second floor. With keys and map handed off, you and Baxter departed from the front desk. So, did you want to take the elevator or stairs? You realize Baxter didn't immediately follow. You turned back to him as he caught up, gesturing for you to wait. He dug out one of his key cards and offered it to you. Elevator. Here. It may not be much, but I would be happy to let you have it in case. Chat decides. What is this? Everyone make the Elmo burning up profile picture. We need to become a cult of weird little Angie pics. Dismiss. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of stuff that you can just make your weird little Angie pic besides the Elmo Angie. Dismiss him. I understand, of course. Do not worry, let's continue. He positioned himself at your side, slipping the card in his pants pocket. The executive decision was made to take the elevator up to the next floor, given all the bags. Truthfully, with only a night's worth of clothes and supplies, they weren't that heavy. What was more, it was only a floor up, but they'd installed an elevator for a reason, hadn't they? It'd be a shame not to put their hard work to use. The halls of the hotel were wide. It was easy enough for two people to pass through beside each other, though you and Baxter had to sidestep to make room for others occasionally. As you approached the end of the path where your rooms sat beside one another, Baxter withdrew his keycard and held it against the digital lock with a fluid, practiced motion. I can't really comment on the overall character writing. That would be the main part of this. But is it just me, or does this visual novel put way too much emphasis on little details sometimes? Yes. Yes, it does. That's kind of a thing with I don't want to say a lot of visual novels. Visual novels are kind of no man's land when it comes to editing. Like, whereas, like, books and stuff, you know, you have a process where it usually goes through a bunch of editors. It's truly a no man's land when it comes to visual novels. And so a lot of line editing and stuff isn't really done. So that, oh my god. I'm just looking over at chat right now, like, why is it just a bunch of me's? Who are all of you people? And there's a Filbert. There's one Filbert in there. Frosty Pickle, hold on a second. You chose the one with an F on my forehead. Of course you would. Like detailed descriptions of putting cell phones away or carrying bags upstairs. But yes, you are correct. I would say the writing kind of changed when it went to Baxter's DLC and Derek's DLC. I would say for the most part, the writing kind of changed with those. A lot of Coves stayed the same, where it's not as noticeable, but there are still some of that. But they did hire other writers for Derek and Baxter's DLC. So if the writing is different, that might be why they did change some of the other writers. I try to write when my ADHD isn't kicking my ass, so the editor in me is just like, alright, the word count in this scene should be cut by like 40%. I have a very wordy writing style, and so, yeah, my... I will in fact take up a paragraph to write a sentence. So, yeah, my teachers have gotten on to me a couple of times. Blub, blub, blub. And then there's a certain bee with legs. One day I'll get a profile pic I like. One of these days! I'm never satisfied with my profile pics. I always want to change them. I have a better profile pic I can borrow. What is it? Fear. One fear. Someone needs to make the profile pic the live Oliver reaction. Tarnished, I think, used to have Oliver as his profile pic, and I was like, yo, what? Stolen from my Twitter. Would it be alright if we were to meet later this evening? It was a long drive, and I, at least, am in no rush to hurry off to the next activity. You waved your hand to dispel any concerns, both real and imagined. Sure, that's fine. I'll see you soon. Excellent. Take care, neighbor. He winked, laughed as he disappeared inside of the room, and shut the door with a click. Tapping your card against the lock, you followed suit. In comparison to the hotel foyer, the room was cozier. Not by much, but it was much less grand in scale. One wall was laid precisely with wooden planks. At the center of the room, the headboard of the single king-sized bed was situated by some nondescript painting. It didn't seem cramped, in part because of the glass doors that led out to the balcony, and because of the nearby windows, which meant more light came into the room. It was bright, even without the lamps on. Oh hey, it's my Santa picture! That's me! Regretful blub. What does Filbert have to regret besides ending in my stomach? Okay, that was enough. For some reason, when he said neighbor, my brain just did a Ned Flanders. I did a Leo neighborino. Oh my god. That's how I'm gonna start these streams, I guess. Hi, diddly ho! Fish Joshi. You guys thought you were gonna escape that? You guys thought you were gonna escape Fish Joshi? I'm not done. I'm not done with that. In the breeze of the quiet evening up the mountains, the branches waved to say hello. Setting down your stuff, you started unpacking toiletries and clothes before searching for a plug at the nightstand for your phone charger. The what now? Fish Joshi! You guys! All of you! Fish Joshi. It's the fan name. Right, guys? You guys came up with it. Your fan name. I am the totally real Frosty Pickle. have interesting takes about Rattata. Hey, hold on a second. This is a deep fake. I agreed to nothing of the sorts. I had no part in the nicknaming Angie. I don't know what you're talking about. I remember the name being said and everyone going, yes, that is our name now. That's what I heard. I'm gonna have to hear some really good appeals for you guys to take that away. Everyone said that was horrible? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You admit it was said, though. I asked you to call us idiots once. I remember that. I've also heard the name victims thrown out. As you unpacked and the sun rays slipped further out into the room, it occurred to you that you also owed a call to your loved ones. Liz probably wasn't waiting by the phone with bated breath, but you didn't want to make her worry any more than she already was. It didn't take more than a couple clicks through your contacts to pull up Liz's number. She'd been one of the last people you were texting on your way up before the signal cut out in the first place. The phone rang for a second before your sister's voice came through the other line. There was an exaggeration to her tone, a sense of suspicion. I sure endorsed it. The mods are the victims here. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, Josh is happy right now. I think the only victim's you. Are you still mad because I put up new security measures so you can't escape the basement? Rain, this better be you and not some imposter. I'm onto you, Ward. If this is in fact your real name. So you admit I'm a victim. No, I'm just asking if you're mad. Call us plastic. There's a lot of that in the sea. Why would I call you that? Also, there's not as much in the deep sea. Video evidence? Admissible in court? No. You're misunderstanding. The fake rain could be me. What? It's you? Call us arson? What? Why arson? All right. Have at it, guys. What are we pressing? Good luck with the Baxter sensor. But this is an ocean. How could we be arson in the ocean? How am I supposed to prove that? Well, that's easy. What pattern was my favorite, most special summer dress when we were kids? Sunflowers. There you have it. Proven. You're real. She sighed and you could hear the muffled sound of her hair brushing against the phone. I should incorporate sunflowers into my look again. That dress was so cute. Moving on. I'm glad you got there safe and sound enough that you're keeping up with me. I still don't know about that Baxter guy. He's too formal and stiff for someone younger than me. But I guess he got you there in one piece. How's the lodge? I think they got confused decorating the place. They said cabin, but I want it fancy. I want to say it's similar to a normal hotel, just with a lot more wood. A lot more wood. Oh, one of those kind of frou-frou cabins. No bigger than that. Everything is huge and grand. Definitely a hotel. At least you're getting put up somewhere nice. Do they give out sparkling water too? I don't know. Your older sister listened with the intensity of someone still handling an interrogation. Call them arson because they're arsing around. SpongeBob proved you can light fire on water. I mean, on water. In water? SpongeBob showed fire under the sea once. Are we betting all of our knowledge of the sea on SpongeBob? I don't care if it's the ocean. SpongeBob and Patrick did it. I guess we are. I mean, could just call us prey? Yeah, but that's boring. We are one brain cell. It's true. Anyway, I'm gonna be hopping out of the basement again because you cannot hold me back later. What? How did you get past my defenses? This will do. Just make sure to have some fun for the rest of us, all right? Take pictures. Mom already started asking why you haven't sent any. They want to see the inside of a car? Right? That's what I said. The conversation trailed on longer, Liz weighing in on speakerphone with what had been going on at home since you'd left. She mentioned that Cove stopped by at some point to drop something off from his dad, and told her to tell you that he said hi. Eventually, Liz tapered off, and at the moment of her sleepiness, she helpfully reminded you to go and get some rest before adding that you needed to call her again tomorrow. Weren't we supposed to meet Baxter? Wasn't that a thing? Did we stand Baxter up? I'm satisfied with the basement as long as I get to burn shit. That's probably a bad idea at the bottom of the ocean. SpongeBob proved that if you draw a circle around you, you won't be attacked by a sea bear. That's true. Never doubt those sea bears. Who lives in it? I can't say it or I'll get copyrighted. Woo! Call us SpongeBob. I'm pretty sure that will get me mega copyrighted. Nope, read that. The phone was promptly tossed aside in favor of preparing for the night. Then a gentle knock came at your door. Baxter, presumably. What would you do if a sea bear chased you? Run, cry, throw up a little, die. You don't doubt those sea bears. Of course, if I was in my original body, I could just swallow it whole. But it would definitely cause me some pain. Baxter, correctly, as he was the only person standing there in the doorway once you opened it. Hi, come in. Wait, we're inviting him in? Bowing his head as he stepped inside, he offered thanks for being quick with the invitation instead of making him stand in the hallway. I hope I wasn't spending too much time in here. I was telling Liz about the trip so far. Oh, no, please. I hope you didn't rush your conversation for my sake. I think it's wonderful that you two are as close as you are. The curve of Baxter's smile widened while he took a quick look around your room. It couldn't be all that different from his own, but he regarded it as though it were. It appears that you've settled in quite nicely. It's late, so I won't keep you, but I did want to discuss our plans for tomorrow. Feel free to enjoy yourself in the morning without worrying about accommodating me. It should be easy to explore the town if you want, but the lodge has amenities. You could also try if you're interested. There is a gym around, I believe, along with a pool, and a complimentary breakfast if you're up early enough for it. As for the afternoon, evening, and night, I'd be pleased if we could spend it together. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll meet up with you later. Baxter didn't do early mornings or mornings in general. It was no skin off your bones to let him sleep in, especially considering that this was supposed to be a vacation. Well, it was always a vacation for Baxter, but the rationale held. He was always so considerate of you that it stood to reason to do the same for him. He nervously ran a hand through his hair before a semblance of his Baxter Ward patented confidence returned to his features. Nibble on its fin? I could try that. I could try that. Nibble on a sea bear's fin? Did my internet just go out? Are you guys still with me? My internet just did something weird. Yeah, still here? Okay. That was weird. Just making sure. Yeah, still here? Okay, cool. Alright. Wait, am I being gaslit or one viewer? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. YouTube just did something really, really weird. Making me think my internet went down. Well, that was just YouTube being YouTube, I suppose. There's only one person watching according to YouTube. It happens! It's not the first time YouTube's tried to gaslight me. Also, nice picture change. Corniver. I do love my Oliver. Oh. I thank you for your consideration. As for what we'll do tomorrow, how would you feel about a hike? I love hikes, actually. I take nature photos all the time. I would enjoy that. Oh, there can only be one of you according to YouTube. You guys are gonna have to fight it out. Battle Royale style. Who's winning? Space needs to give Oliver an olive costume? Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be adorable. Round Oliver. Round Oliver sounds amazing. I love that. There's a lovely trail that starts directly from here. It loops up around the forest at the back, then returns to where we started. It's a bit of a longer path, so we could pack a lunch with us to take on the way. I can have it ordered and delivered ahead of time. Alright, chat. It's on you. What are we choosing? Not it! Wait a second. Hold on, Josh. What do you mean, not it? Four. You didn't want to go, but you didn't want to be a downer on this trip. Yeah, sure. Let's go on a hike. He smiled graciously. Baxter had his heart set on that outing clearly. You'd made his day by joining the adventure. I'll look forward to it then. With that, Baxter took his leave, after offering a quiet goodnight. There were a few hours left before you had to be in bed, so you settled in for the first night of what continued to be a surreal experience. It was spent peacefully, and then you were drifting into an equally gentle dream. The sun peeked through the sheer curtains, the first part of your day, to greet you as you woke up in a sprawling bed that wasn't your own. Angie tries to say words challenge. Not working. Human, not computing. 4 is the no, but I have to say yes. Exactly. Now jump the window and escape. Good luck with that. Fun fact, this hotel room was a huge bed with a pillow and blanket for Celine, Baxter's light fury, so she can sleep and rest. Aw, that's cute. Okay. Chat, it's on you. Are we getting up? Are we sleeping in? What are we doing? 2? Alright, 2. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, probably more passed before you considered leaving the safety of the bed sheets. That's accurate to my regular morning. But once you managed to unearth yourself from the blankets and wake up a bit, you went through your morning routine and considered the possibilities for the time that remained. Baxter wouldn't be meeting up with you until around the afternoon. Your growling stomach made the decision for you. The first time on your agenda was getting breakfast. I'm so hungry right now. I'm so hungry right now. I would have fallen right back into my bed if I stood up. I'm about the same way in the morning. Reminding me of breakfast is only making me hungrier. By the time your hunger was sated, Baxter hadn't contacted you. Alright, what are we doing? Same. For me, it might be a minor iron deficiency, though. But IDK. Aw, sorry. I haven't eaten all day. I'm so hungry. Okay, one was chosen first. Swiping your keycard against the electronic lock, you made your way inside to enjoy the rest of your morning. Alright guys, choose again! How hungry? Very hungry. I'm an anglerfish, what do you want me to say? I ate a witch hole in the last episode. My hunger's never satisfied. Gaming? Okay, gaming. Started playing video games. Whatever you said, you were going, Whenever you said you were going to put it down, you found one more thing to do. But this had to really be the last save before you stopped. Well, maybe you could manage to finish a little more of it. By the time 11 rolled around, your phone buzzed with a new text from Baxter. It was formally worded as ever. Good afternoon, Rain. I will be ready for our hike shortly. I hope the amenities were to your liking. Amenities? The what now? It's been nice. See you soon. Wonderful. I've always enjoyed how responsive you are. I will be ordering lunch in the interim. I thought sandwiches might suit our activities for the day. It should be easy to bring along and fine to eat cold. Uh-huh. I would advise staying away from the paninis for that reason. I'll send along the menu shortly. Let me know what you'd prefer. Let's see, what was rude? I'm gonna make a joke if you respond with, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Nah, I could eat a witch, though. As promised, Baxter attached a perfectly formatted PDF with set options, which seemed increasingly more complex the lower you scrolled down the menu. There were options for next to everything: what bread, what fillings, what cheeses, what spreads. It was enough to make you forget forget what was available in a category as soon as you moved from one section to another. But you hastily made your decisions, with the seconds still ticking by, and texted your order to Baxter, who replied with a blushy, smiling emoji. Cringe. After sending off the last text, you set your phone on the nightstand and rolled off of your bed. Good shoes were a mess when it came to hikes, along with a full water bottle. With the weather and time of day being what it was, you hoped you might catch the last dregs of the cool morning air before the afternoon really set in. Gotta go? All right. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. Once you were satisfied you had everything that you'd need, you returned to the front of the hotel. The lobby was cavernously vacant as ever. So it wasn't hard to find the back of a distinct head of black and white hair near the fireplace with a bag of what was potentially sandwiches. Yet you were certain it wasn't Baxter. It couldn't have been. Sure, his shoes were black, the pants were dark gray. He had a gray bag too, which all aired to the side of monochromatic. But his shirt. That man was wearing khaki. How could he? Good luck with this unbelievably verbose, oddly irritating guy. Yep, that's a perfect description of him. Angie, more like Kanji. Eh? Are you going to turn into a can? I don't think so. Are you? Herb? I will not change my name, or else I'll have to wait 2 weeks. It's true. That is true. Apparently that happens. I've never had to change my name before, but I've seen other people talk about that. It was as if you'd found a cryptid in the flesh. You never thought you'd see the day where Baxter Ward was wearing a color that wasn't, well, that he was wearing any color at all. Of course, you knew it wasn't actually a stranger with the same unique hairstyle and body type, but it was hard not to joke about it. Baxter turned at the sound of your footsteps. Rain. He grinned, jaw tensed. Baxter probably would have been more comfortable trotting around the lobby in nothing more than his presumably black and white underwear. You're gonna do it? Ruin's gonna do it? You forgot the emoji. Oh no! my pee stuck on Frosty Pickle for a few days. None of you thought of this, did you? None of you thought of this. The fuck is that devious smirk? And it's Baxter. I'm now Ruangie. Join the Angies. He was the guy that described skinny dipping as invigorating after all. Why did you have to remind me of that? Oh, hey. Seeing him so clearly bothered by it made you drop the humor. Something must have gone wrong. Even though you mercifully ignored the off-color elephant in the room, Baxter couldn't let this breach of fashion go unexplained. He took a deep breath. A very deep breath. With his eyes closed and his hand unintentionally tightening its grip around the bag, his answer finally came out in the same exhale. Identity theft. With Frosty Pickle, definitely. I only brought one shirt that was suitable for a hike with me on this trip. I'd been certain I wouldn't need more than that. He looked away, hand brushing through his hair again as he worked to find the words. After you left, I found this among my things. Baxter grimaced. He looked at his irate shirt as if it had been hit with a splash from a mud puddle. And regrettably, I did not find anything else. This is the shirt I brought for outdoor activities. The fates would have it that I only found out when there was no time to run out and get a replacement. Thus leaving me with a few remaining options. A formal button-down, one of my designer tops, silk pajamas, or... He gestured to the khaki shirt with both finality and defeat. So, you own it? Baxter shook his head empathetically, the light in his eyes betraying his expression with some delight that at least you found his misfortune entertaining enough to prod at. No, I suppose I must have accidentally stolen it from a roommate. I don't know who else would own a khaki button-down other than that prep. My memories of the final pack at dawn before I set out to California are hazy to say the least. I had believed at some time that I took a pale gray, sturdy cotton shirt for occasions like this. The low lighting and my waning focus in the moment betrayed me. Of course, Morning Baxter struck again. Sighing, he straightened the thieved attire. If he was only going to be unpresentable, it should at least be decently so. The sandwich bag fell against his hip as his eyes met yours. I'm Kanji for a while. Nice! The different Angie's alignment charts is like normal Angie, chaotic good, and Frosty, chaotic evil. Normal Angie is chaotic good? Normal Angie is chaotic good? That's what we're going with? We'll see if you guys still think that after the lore reveals. I hope we have the option to push him off the mountain. I don't know, we might. It might not be murder, I don't know. We might get away with manslaughter. I feel so bad for my friends that have to see the new profile pic and user. Nah, everything is just Angie. Important update sent. What? Oh my god. Indeed. Alright, I'll take that real fast. And we'll just go back over here. Add it in. Press a few buttons. And suddenly we have a new live Baxter reaction in the corner of the screen. We'll make it that size. Perfect. He's smirking at us now. Are you guys happy? Are you guys happy? You can't see my face, but I'm insane right now. I don't wanna, for as long as I'm Kanji, this is my profile pic. Burning Elmo Angie. Nice. I must ask that you keep this secret, Rain. What do you guys think? Ignore the censor marks. What are you guys voting on? Are we keeping the secret? Last one? The face was so irritatingly punchable that it was perfect. It's true. So true. All right, last one. Admitting to theft with your own mouth. You could get arrested for that. You know, I've been threatened with the police quite a bit lately. Regardless, it isn't my intention to keep this. The victim is free to have this back as soon as I'm able to return it. As unhappy with his predicament as he was, there was something undeniably sweet about the fact he'd hurried to make it at the risk of keeping you waiting. The collar of the shirt was crumpled and parts of it were wrinkled, likely from the hasty packing after he finally discovered the horrible mistake. The latter couldn't be fixed without an iron, but at least the collar could be smoothed over. You reached out instinctively to fix it, incidentally brushing gently against the side of his neck as you straightened out the crease. Pale skin flushed with sudden warmth, pinking as your fingertips fell against the hollow of his throat. His Adam's apple bobbed, his breath hitching in his throat. Oh hey, we made him blush. This is such a weird stream. Happens. I changed my expression, but you guys can't see it, so... Oops, excuse me. I hiccuped. I'm hiccuping again. What's going on? Dude, it was a single touch. Didn't matter. His embarrassment managed to ease into laughter. Baxter covered his mouth to stifle the chuckles that echoed through the empty foyer. You tried your best to keep from cackling any more than you already did at his poor, beige-influenced expense. Well, regardless of that, of what color I may be wearing. Beige. He raised an eyebrow before directing a pair of rolled eyes your way. Right. We should still be able to continue with our plans. It isn't as though anyone will see me in public like this. Who will the trees tell? This seems like the beginning of a horror story, actually. Who will the trees tell, Baxter? What are you planning to do with us? Oh my god. That picture. Ruanji, wait! Nobody, but remember, I'll always know what happened. No, this is why he's gonna do it to you! Rain, don't tell him that! This is why he's gonna do it! You just gave him the motive! Contrary to belief, my ego will endure. Besides what? He turned to face you with the first genuine smile you'd seen from him all day curved on his lips. His free hand fell solemnly on your shoulder, by comparison, and gave it a gentle squeeze. No one will ever believe you. Eh? Nani? What did you just say to me? God, I can't keep all of you straight. Good luck when you have to ban someone now. Shaking his head, you adjusted the straps of your bag on your shoulders. Okay, if you're done. Baxter gave you a world-weary glance as if to say he had already greatly limiting how much he could have gone on about it. We can head out. Let's. He packed away the sandwiches into the bigger, probably gray bag, truly ending his lament about the state of attire. Once he was certain the food was not liable to be flattened, Baxter gestured for you to follow him out of the hotel and onto the nearby trailhead behind the building. The path initially was paved and clearly marked. As you continued at a leisurely pace, it eventually narrowed into a larger swath of evergreen trees and beaten ground. The mountain air was sharper than the sea breeze, and you were so used to. Instead of salt, you could smell pine in between the wasps of liberally applied sunscreen. Here's a question for you, chat. Just a quick question from you guys. Do you prefer the sea, the smell of the sea? Or do you prefer the smell of the woods? I have my answer, but I'm curious about you guys. What do you think? With a pleasant breeze and a coolness drawn from a stream, the weather was more than ideal for a hike. Tree boughs provided cover too, hiding you both from the high afternoon sun. Sea? Sea is also mine. I love the ocean. I love the smell of it. I've never smelled either of them. Really? I've never been to either, but sea because I'm kanji. Well, have you smelled them in like candles and stuff? So close that the difference is barely anything. What kind of woods? How about pine tree woods? Since it's like more of the theme. Pine trees have a very nice smell to them. So walking through the woods with pine trees is pretty nice. I do a lot of nature hikes, so I'm in the woods a lot. I take a lot of pictures and sell them. Let's see. Did we read this already? Yes. Foliage rustled at your feet as your shoes kicked up the fallen turf. The path wasn't big enough for you to walk side by side, so Baxter took the front. After some prolonged silence, he spoke up. Woods just be contrary? Ah, I see. I prefer the ocean. I'm not usually around the ocean, so I prefer it. However, the woods also are really nice.
Perfect.
I'm glad that this trail matches what I saw online. It seems like an easy hike as it lacks steep inclines. The path ahead is clear. Let's see. What happened here? Same, I'm a big woods guy. I could see. Woods for space, that makes sense. What happened here? What does it look like happened here? Anyway, space, make a choice. What choice are we pressing? Leave me a forest with elevation. Last? Alright, last it is. I feel like I'm watching a shitpost mod of a game. Or something. There's a freaking spinning fish on the screen. You guys requested that spinning fish on the screen. I won't pick a single thing until my boy's on screen. Is Oliver not your boy? I'm in shock. What do you mean Oliver's not your boy? I requested, but I didn't think it would happen. Well, it happened. We fulfilled your request. Oliver is my boy, but Derek is my boy. So are you requesting a Derek and Cove or just a Derek? You have the decision to make. I said I'd only bring them in with requests. So is that your request? Yeah, but I mean, almost all of this on screen was stuff I quickly threw together in generators, and you did wonderfully. Just Derek, Cove is allergic to not the ocean, I think. True. Very true. Is this one? Yes. There you go. Derek it is. Alright, well, first one was disappointed, so. His smile tensed, worried that you were bored. He hastened his walk as if to create more of a challenge for you in lieu of a more arduous path that worked. Do you go hiking a lot? He turned his gaze to the tree canopy, considering the question for a moment, as leaves crumbled underfoot and the path sloped uphill. I don't go often, but I am quite used to it if that's the question. I am not sure if I'd consider it among my personal hobbies, but I'm not averse to it. I welcome the opportunity, in fact, when it's available. Choose again, chat! The choice is yours. Also, that filbert is so low res. It really has an exquisite vibe that I love it dearly. But would you also like me to export a higher fidelity version? I was saying that you should just entirely make a GIF of filbert spinning. Because we don't have a PNG of filbert, but we have an artist that could make one. You need to make an Oliver and Olive costume, please. Also, it seems like you have art request space. I mean, I worked with what I had, but Angie did say you would be the source of a higher res version. I did. I said my mods working together, in other words, space. Is this an official request? It could be an official request. Let me eat dinner first. Hey! I think we got her, chat. I think we got her. Alright, chat, choose an option. Oh wait, was that 2 the option? I think that 2 was the choice. Alright. That's shocking. Are you sure you're really Baxter? You said teasingly. His easy smile turned into a smirk as he pushed a wayward branch out of your way. Excellent. Then I will take it as a good thing that I am not yet out of surprises. Though I would not call myself a mountaineer proper. He chuckled, stopping in place at a partial ascent. Baxter glanced over his shoulder at you and watched for any signs of difficulty in your footing. I may be fit to impress on a day hike similar to this, but I know some people who truly could call themselves wilderness aficionados. And the types that you could see in a reality survival show, I'd wager, in an Alaskan wilds fighting a bear for salmon. You stifled a laugh, finding it hard to believe Baxter could really know anyone who did those kind of activities in the first place. I'm speaking of the Murrays, the parents and their 2 teens who would regularly go out. I can't speak. Who would regularly go on backpacking trips that would last days, and they'd sleep outside in the middle of the woods. What's more, they enjoyed rappelling down cliff sides. Certainly they had safety gear, but I can't fathom willingly going to such degrees. Or rather, it might be more apt to say that I can't imagine surviving them. Alright, time to go near a mountainside and push off Baxter! Baxter continued on about some of the Murrays' exploits and a little of his own reservations about anything else under the sun, including scuba diving. Though you had plenty to say about that between Mr. Holden's entire business and living so close to the ocean. But it wasn't long before you decided to stop for lunch. It'd already been a few hours since you had breakfast, and Baxter hadn't eaten anything yet for the day. There weren't picnic tables along the path, so the task fell onto you to find something to take a break. It happened to be the case that you saw a nice sunny spot with some nice flat rocks first. How about we take a lunch break over there? Following your raised arm, Baxter eventually nodded in agreement. The 2 of you headed over to the stones and shrugged off your packs. After digging through his bag's contents, he produced the 2 sandwiches and handed over yours. The sound of crinkling beeswax paper unwrapping announced the start of lunch. Baxter already made it abundantly clear that he didn't do water activities, most of them, at least. I imagine this Celine with Baxter walking together. Yeah, flying right beside us. I imagine Celine fishing while Baxter's eating lunch. I could see that. There's a nice little stream right there, too, for it. There's absolutely no way only 2 hours and 30 minutes. I feel like I've been here for 5 hours. In a good way or a bad way? It feels like it's been a long time for me because I'm so hungry right now I could eat all of you. What did I say? Hold on. Scratch that. But it struck you that he'd probably never tried one of the premier aquatic sports that marked this oceanfront state of yours. Hey, Baxter, what do you think about surfing? He was about to take another bite of his sandwich when you posed the question, and merely snickered when it finally registered. I know you wouldn't do it yourself, but maybe you enjoy watching? It is quite a feat, I must admit. No what allowed? I'm sorry, I don't see words like that. I think there's nothing like it. Everyone who surfs talks about being in the tube, but honestly, it's you and the ocean, and And though he wasn't interested in trying, Baxter did pay attention to everything you said about surfing to the T, enough to merit asking follow-up questions at least. While stuffing your face, keeping up a conversation fell off the list of priorities. Baxter followed your lead and dedicated himself to his own sandwich. Real silence was avoided thanks to the delightful world around you. The rustle of leaves, the bubbling of water, even a small songbird flitted by overhead before landing on a nearby branch. It seemed to stare directly at you and chirped. It was so picturesque that it belonged on a postcard. For the mundane activity of eating lunch, it was almost too much. Could one be overly serene? I was almost like, oh, don't forget to take a picture of it, as if, like, this is one of my outings. Of course they're not taking a picture of it. They don't do that. That's just me. Still thinking about lever, sorry, Baxter. Love that all the pictures of leaves on screen, the drawing included, give the false impression of a calm and serene boy. I know. It's such a lie. That cat is nowhere near calm and serene. That cat is the embodiment of chaos. He's so clearly so calm, so zen. He shall escape some soon space. Oliver is the embodiment of chaos. I am not kidding. That cat is so chaotic. Do not let him fool you. But the pictures I take of him look so calm. All right, chat. It's your time again. Choose. Going to sleep now. We'll be back to steal your identity soon. Hold on. What? Oh, now you want to sleep. Now you want to sleep when you're stealing my identity. Chaos, chaos. 6? Okay. Baxter polished off his sandwich first and then wiped his fingers on a paper napkin. He had been certain to pack those. Your thoughts turned to this morning's adventure. The various sights were pleasant, and Baxter's enthusiasm was a joy. Joy? The trip was unique, even for Baxter's adventure TM. Okay, that TM is kind of funny. This is weird, Baxter. Yeah, he seems different. Can't put my finger on it. You hadn't realized that you had spaced out until Baxter hummed. Perhaps I am being fanciful, but this feels almost dreamlike. Huh? You understood where he was coming from. Up on the mountain, your everyday life felt so far away. It was far away. You'd traveled for miles to be here. This time, you both were far from home and in the middle of the unfamiliar. It was nature's domain, untamed in a different way than your experiences with the ocean. He nodded, reading the understanding in your thoughtful expression. Baxter reached out and grabbed a leaf from the ground, twirling it around with his fingers. Exactly. As you worked on finishing your own lunch, a heavy weight dropped on your shoulders. After a beat, you realized it was just Baxter leaning on you, apparently having finished lunch, making himself comfortable. His eyes were closed, dark lashes especially apparent against his cheekbones. His lips parted softly with quiet breaths. Push him off. Push him off. Rain is suffering from altitude sickness. She's delusional. For a second, you wondered if he fell asleep again until he spoke up, as if already aware of the fact that you wanted to ask. This is nice. It wasn't much of an answer, though he did crack an eye open to look up at you from his perch. Sorry, was I talking too much? Not at all, Rain. He closed his eye again, this time burying his cheek a little closer to the hollow between your shoulder and your head. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you tired? Baxter considered the suggestion for a second, then nodded slowly against your shoulder. If it'll let me stay a while, yes. What are you doing? No, game, don't make me imagine this scene. Too late. All right. Oh, we agreed. Why, thank you. You know, the forest that I grew up with had different foliage. At least 60% of the plants growing here only exist in this climate. Chat decides! What are we choosing? Can't even see his face under Oliver. Nope, not currently. Just his smile. That damn smile. Last? Okay. He waited for you to comment, but continued when you didn't outwardly react. For example, do you see the fern over there? It's a herba ficus, and endemic to this area. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. He lowered his head with gravitas. Despite his seriousness, you felt more than a glint of suspicion. His poker face had cracks. Yes, it definitely would be something, at least if there were any truth whatsoever in what I'm saying. He grinned like the Cheshire Cat, self-satisfied and smug. His eyes glittered with amusement. I entirely made that up off the top of my head. Oh, wow. Baxter, so funny. Although since I know truly nothing about California wildlife, it may reflect reality after all. Probably not, but I can't rule it out completely. What, accidentally guessing the correct information? You laughed at his nonsense. He was so blunt about it, and at your mirth, his grin grew wider, and he regaled you with other fake nature facts. I'm losing the ability to speak as the more this goes on. Baxter, the joke isn't funny if you immediately give up the bit. Nope. You gotta commit to these things, Baxter. You gotta commit. Like that Pokemon stream where Space and Josh were giving me all of the wrong information the entire time. You gotta commit to these things. He spoke about the California mountain hare, the only North American rodent that ate a large diet of bees that was entirely made up by a man who normally dressed in monochrome. But the meal was over at that point, and you did have to trek ahead before you could return to the hotel. Baxter separated himself from your shoulder, perky as ever. Trash and scraps were thrown into the delivery bag. Baxter stuffed it into his normal bag. Leave no trace. You gave a thumbs up after making sure you hadn't missed anything. Who, me? Yes, you! Don't think I forgot about it! With everything stowed away, and the two of you slid off the rock and rejoined the path. Baxter kept a considerate watch on your pace. As you hiked, he never let himself get far ahead. When you started flagging, he'd slow down and stop as needed, despite him obviously not being tired yet. Still, you believed that you were making good progress along the trail. Without warning, Baxter rooted himself in the middle of the path. Oh, look at that. He jerked his head, and you followed his gaze. Further out on his side of the trail was the stream, flowing swiftly. But you immediately knew what part of the scene caught his attention. Laying across the banks, a tree had fallen to create a natural bridge. You stepped around him to get a better vantage point. The trunk had to be 3 feet thick and covered in vibrant green moss. Leaves had long fallen from the few remaining branches. In this situation, have to gradually escalate the bit. That herbafictus endemic to the area. It is used to heal sunburn by humans, who learn to do so by watching Bigfoot. Sounds correct. Sounds correct. Leave no trace, he's definitely gonna kill us. I think so. You might be onto something. Murder plot might actually happen. We gotta get him before he can get us. God, our stamina is gone. Giving up beehive boxing has left us so weak. I know! Our beehive boxing went away. How could we do it? Josh and I only ever gave you useful and true Pokemon information. I know I'm responding to this late, but I was busy commenting to the bit for Baxter. Yes, useful and true information, huh? That's what you're going with? Baxter's bright eyes stayed on it, and he grinned all the while. Exciting. Oh, 1 minute, please. I need to walk across that. It's too perfect to simply pass on by. He took a large step and promptly left the path, a twig snapping. Chat, you know what to do. Choose. Or die. I prefer not to do the die part, so choose. I'm back, welcome back. Why expect him to commit to the bit? It's not like Baxter can commit to anything else. Oof, shots fired. 2 it is. Oh my god, you laughed at his plan. Your hands lifted to cover your gaping mouth as you watched. He was really just going for it. His steps were bouncy as he navigated the forest brush to the tree bridge. You laugh, but honestly, when else will I have the chance to walk across a tree? There's even a sunbeam shining through the forest canopy. It's like there's a spotlight on it. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. Are we following him? Or are we gonna leave him to his fate? What do you think? I mean, that's fair. He is commitment issues the route, basically. That's this whole route. Commitment issues. Leave him. Got it. Well, our only option is to stare in disbelief, so 3. Baxter carefully went through the undergrowth. It was impossible to go straight to the stream with all the brush and rocks in the way. He dodged suspicious bushes of potentially poisonous ivy, ducking under low-hanging branches, and skirted around trees that were still standing. His determination kept him going, even when his clothing got caught on some thorns. He was going to walk across that bridge. Finally, he skipped over some stones, and then squeezed himself between a group of thick bushes. His efforts were surprisingly graceful. You, however, stayed right in place, like one of the many trees. Baxter solidly placed a foot on the trunk suspended over it. He tested his weight, then rocked his heel to shake the bridge. The tree gave no sign of giving under pressure. No matter what he did, it wasn't budging. The safety check complete, he gingerly lifted his other foot, and stood fully on the collapsed tree. Even if it was stuck, the wood had to be slick. Wet and round weren't an ideal combination. Your forehead crinkled. Wetling? Huh? What? Wait, Ruin's back. I thought you couldn't change your name. What did you do? We're a tree now. Okay. Yes, we're a tree. Baxter showed no concern for that, and walked further along, an inch at a time, until he was above the water. One wrong move and he'd be in that river. Me too, but YouTube let me, so I did. Huh. Well, that works. Lifting yourself onto your tiptoes, you squinted out at him. Even with the distance and the thickness of the forest, you still had a decent view. He continued above the water with his arms spread in light steps, heel, toe, heel, toe. It was like he was floating on air, a dazzling sight to behold. Dazzling... Shove. We didn't follow him, we can't shove him. Baxter successfully made it across the stream, but didn't step off. You watched with interest as he spun in place to face you, then he bowed gradually with a showman's smile. Chat, your move. Push him in. We don't have the option! We don't have the option to push him in. We didn't follow him. Showing off? Got it. Oh, that wasn't showing off. He took a moment to observe the tree he was on, then reached some sort of conclusion and glanced back at you. With a dancer's grace, he jumped forward and landed on the trunk. The stream flowed under him. He then spun on a foot in mock pirouettes, a motion focusing on showiness rather than good form. He finished with a second bow. Now, that may have been showing off a little. Wow, Baxter. I am quite grateful for my impeccable bounce in cases like this. How often could Baxter actually get into situations like this? Were tree bridges really that common? Did he often climb onto things without thinking it through? The thought brought to mind a cat, casually wandering into hazardous places just because they could. Boy, is that one true. Owning a cat is owning a toddler, let it be known. They are toddlers that never grow up. I wanted him to be stuck. No, we can't be so lucky. Then Baxter simply made his way back across with his head held high. He jumped off and landed on his feet onto solid ground, sticking the landing. Baxter picked his way through the overgrowth. Soon, he rejoined you. Thank you for your commendable patience. On we go. As your hike resumed, Baxter's jaunty attitude stood out. This entire trip, he had seemed different, more lighthearted. Usually, when he was in a playful mood, it was more teasing. He was still very controlled, but out here, now, it wasn't the same. Maybe because he was in the middle of nowhere, he felt extra free, or maybe it was because he'd already broken character with his unintentionally stolen shirt. Or, and this was the strangest possibility to consider, maybe it was entirely normal for him to act like this and you didn't know. Gradually, it grew darker and darker. Less light made it through the canopy of leaves above you. The sun slipped behind the surrounding mountains. It was well into evening when you caught sight of the hotel. Ah, we've arrived. Honestly, I am having many regrets. His tone was light and jokey, but there was something boldly truthful to his words. I should have reserved the rooms for much longer. Everything is ending much too soon for my taste. Not for me! Oliver may resemble that remark. It is so true. He's a big toddler, but he's my baby, so it's acceptable. He rubbed a hand through his hair, exhaustedly sweeping it back into place. However, at this point, there's no helping it. You hummed because what else was there to say? You returned to the warm lights of the lobby, the plush red carpet squished in a strangely decadent way compared to how gross you felt from tromping around the woods all day. Baxter halted you mid-stride with a question. What are your plans now? You hadn't thought that far, but Baxter didn't pause long enough for you to answer. If you are willing, we could eat dinner together. For example, I have heard the room service here is divine. Oh god, he's gonna come up to our room. Oh no. If someone new finds the stream, do you think they would stay or leave immediately after seeing the screen? Mix of both. Mix of both. I've seen people stay before when screen was this chaotic. I've also seen them leave right away, so, you know, mix of both. If they can't handle me at this, though, well, you know how it is. Rain, if he offers to extend the reservation, turn him down. This is a planned scam. Exactly. Exactly. Curiosity would keep him here? Eh? We could also go somewhere else, but I'd require a few minutes to change. Alright guys, what are we doing? If we get room service, we eat with him. Oh, well, it looks like we don't have a choice, actually. All of these seem to be room service. So, room service it is! Shrug. Got it, shrugging. If you don't have a preference, I believe that room service is the best choice. It will be the most convenient. He shot you a hopeful glance. You didn't argue and let Baxter decide. Perfect. Then let us order some room service. I think I saw risotto on the menu, and I want it. Your stomach gurgled at the mention of food. Yeah, no kidding! The new plan was just in time, and you headed straight up to Baxter's room. He led the way to his suite, like the hotel was in the back of his hand, though it was a simple layout. But under his confident guidance, you reached the destination, and he dropped your bags on the floor. The carpet muffled the thump. Baxter spread his now free arms widely to welcome you in. Please take a seat wherever you'd like. Baxter moved towards the nightstand and scrunched up a pamphlet on hotel services. You sat down on the side table. Baxter flipped through the booklet until he spied the menu. Found it. He joined you around the table and placed the menu down so both of you could read it. At a glance, most of the options were classic comfort foods. It matched the cabin in the woods aesthetic that the hotel was going for. However, it also had a sprinkling of more high-end options to cater to a certain type of clientele. It couldn't be understated how weird the concept of getting lobster in a hotel was. Again, just depends on where you are. This is California. All entrees came with seasonal vegetables and a homemade roll. In addition, you could also pick a side of mashed potatoes, fries, French onion soup, or a salad. Baxter was hemmed and hawed as he did when spoiled for choice. You could only hope it wouldn't be as much of a struggle for him as choosing which ice cream to get. You considered the options for yourself and decided on, all right, chat, may I take your order? This is a restaurant. We have up at the top, that's being covered, a full-size salad, a shepherd's pie, and pot roast. You can read lobster under there. And on the other side, being covered by, well, the whole thing is being covered, we have bolognese, risotto, steak, prime rib, the steelhead trout, lasagna, or a gnocchi bowl. Steak was chosen anyway, so nothing matters. Angie tries to read, failed, happens all the time. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. You making fun of the fact I can't read? Ruin? You making fun of it? Steak. As for the side, you picked your favorite of the list. Alright, what are we getting, chat? We could only choose one. We could only choose one. Fries. Steak and fries. There's nothing standing out on the menu for me, but that makes it easy. I'll get the risotto and a side salad. Baxter confirmed your order again, as well as repeating his own, before swanning over the room phone. He dialed room service and placed the order promptly. Yes, thank you, goodbye. He hung up the call and sat down in the corner of the bed. He tapped his fingers on his leg. All that was left was to wait. You decided to spend the time cooling down from the hike and cleaning up a bit. Baxter cranked up the AC and washed his face with a damp towel. You collected a bucket of ice from the hallway ice machine and treated yourself to some crisp water. After about 30 minutes after the order was put in, a knock rattled on the door. Baxter volunteered to get it. Hello. He opened the door and let in the waiting staff member. The employee rolled in a cart carrying literal silver platters. They set out the food on the table for you. Please enjoy your dinner. Let us know if you need anything else. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Privately, you were impressed by the fanciness of the presentation. The staff member made their farewells, leaving you to your meal. You reconvened around the table once more. And the food comes from the restaurant in the hotel. It's not a small operation preparing it. Oh? Chatting and chewing happened in turns. The topic inevitably came to your preferences for food. Everyone always talks about fries and ice cream going together well, but honestly, they're missing out on the obvious. Fries and whipped cream are even better. It's still a sweet and salty combination, but you don't have to deal with cold fries. That wasn't even the first strange food he'd brought up in the conversation. He'd start off with something innocuous and then slip in an oddity to watch your reaction. Okay, guys, how do we feel about the fries and nuggets thing? Or fries and nuggets, sorry, I was reading your comment at the same time I said that. Fries and ice cream thing. I used to really like that, admittedly. I don't think I do it anymore because I'm bad with ice cream now. Well, mostly. I still eat it from time to time. But, how do we all feel about that? Nuggets and ice cream? I haven't heard of that one before. Never had it, but I'd try it? Okay. It's like, I used to know people all the time that would dip their fries in ice cream and would really like it. Would try? Okay. It's good? Yeah, I remember I used to do it when I was little and I really enjoyed it as a kid. But, like, I haven't done it in a long time, so I don't know if I'd still enjoy it. How many were real and how many fell into the realm of 60% unique plants, i.e. complete and utter nonsense? Have you ever tried eating fries with pies? Interesting. Fries and ice cream owns, but half the point of the flavor of ice cream. Whipped cream is nothing. Yeah, I agree with that. Whipped cream doesn't really have much of a flavor. Yuck. We have one, yuck. All right, now answer this question. What are we telling Baxter? Gross? Or I'll have to try? What do you think? 1? Okay, gross. Momster actually got it for once. Wow. And don't be hasty. It may surprise you. After many food admissions that made Baxter either the king of weird taste buds or a reigning jester, dinner came to an end. When you glanced at the clock, you found it was later than you ever would have guessed. It'd been a long day. Sitting back in your chair, you stretched your arms up. Your legs were feeling the effects of trapezing uphill for miles. A yawn bubbled up with your phone rang. Who'd be calling you at this time? You pulled out your phone to check if it was anything that mattered or a spam call. Liz's name showed up on the screen. Right. Of course your sister wouldn't wait any longer for the mandatory check-in. You were late. Has she called the police already? At least she hadn't jumped straight to the police. You're welcome to answer that if you'd like. I can give you privacy. No, it's just my sister. You don't have to go anywhere. You tapped the screen to answer the call and put it on speaker. That way both of you could say hello. Hi. Hey. Surprise check-in, Rain. Are you still alive? Did the Victorian-era emo man give you any trouble? Pepe Le Pew to Victorian-era emo man. You chose pies. You should have been faster, Space. 1 up on him. I can't have ice cream much since I'm lactose intolerant, but when I do get some, I like it. I can't have ice cream much either. It's just bad for me. I can't have it much. It's not recommended to give your fish ice cream. All right, guys, choose your answer. What do you think? I'm gonna drink some water because my throat is starting to get a little dry. What about corn ice cream? No. See, her family does think he's a killer. Exactly! It's on speaker. It's on speaker! Your jaw dropped open, and you turned to Baxter in frantic panic. How would he take Liz's colorful description? Oh. She paused. The so-called Victorian-era emo man filled the growing awkward silence. Baxter was already leaning on the table with his elbows propped up on the counter. Now he lazily rested his chin on his fist. Hello. That's certainly a unique description. I can't say I have ever heard the likes of it before. I stand by it. Gotta love Liz. She knows what she said. Hello to you too, Baxter. I'm making sure that everything is well with my little sister. You understand? I do completely. Fine. So again, what are you doing? We just had room service for dinner. Sheesh, lucky. I had to make my own dinner like a peasant. Sorry. Don't apologize. Some static came through the phone like your sister was moving around. You're supposed to brag or something since you're on vacation living it up. How am I supposed to tease you if you don't give me any material? Sorry? Again with the sorry. Now you are joking with me. Sorry. The two of you went back and forth a while longer, while Baxter watched with increasing entertainment. Anyways, clearly you're still breathing, so I'll let you go. See you tomorrow, sis. Bye, have a good night. Yes, take care. I will. Make sure to take care of her. On that slightly threatening note, Liz hung up. Baxter's lips twitched upwards. Your family is charmingly protective. I realize that more and more every day. Jack can choose again. Liz is so poor and pathetic. What? What are your intentions with my sister? Basically. It's basically Liz right now. Man, every time I look at the screen, I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, that's certainly what happens. I think the worst one, though, was the first Baxter episode. Last one? Got it. That's right, and you shouldn't forget it. I don't believe I could. Your sister in particular makes me highly aware of how fortunate I am that your family seems to approve of me thus far. I am nearly a stranger. I cannot deny that I'm imposing a great deal on your free hours. It's good to be cautious. Honestly. And truly, I do like your family, at least as much as I can from the little we've interacted. Speaking of... He lifted his head, and his hand fell under his chin instead. He furrowed his brow. In general, I would never dare to be this presumptuous, but I cannot deny that I am deeply curious about you as a person. So I'll venture to ask if you'd be willing to share more about your family history. Oh? It made sense. Your family wasn't a mother and father who had children born to them. He knew that much. There were more ways than one that you all could have come together. You didn't remember ever explaining anything to him. Alright, chat, I'll let you decide how much we disclose. As I said, from now on, it is on you guys where this story goes. So, go ahead. Shake head. Alright. I understand entirely. I won't inquire further. Go ahead. We have another option, guys. Let Oliver choose. Oliver! Oliver, baby, are you here? Oh, I heard him. He responded to me. Let's see. Brag about our awesome family. You were a little late with that one. Okay, 1. No, I apologize for being pushy. Well, he pulled at the collar of his roommate's shirt. His gaze searched out the room's ticking clock. It has been a delightful day. I should not linger forever. There is much to do tomorrow. Good night, Rain. He stood, and with a slight wave, he grabbed his bag to go. Alright, chat. You have a choice again. Go for it. I taught my dog to give me hugs. That's cute. Aw. Oliver gives me hugs sometimes. He's not very good at controlling his, claws. However, his claws sometimes go straight into me. But he's cute, so I give him a pass. I give him a pass for everything. You waved goodbye. Yeah, see ya! It's his room. He's leaving his room. Baxter left without another word. The door swung shut behind him. You sunk lower into the chair, getting comfortable. You were ready to turn in for the night. Your eyes fluttered closed for only a moment when suddenly the door swung back open and startled you. Baxter came through it, walking stiltedly with the most peculiar expression. Did he get a nicer room? It looks about the same, but I'll take it. How did he open your door? Oh. We don't know. We're also dumb. This one's my room. The other is yours. Oh yeah. You were equally caught off guard by the realization. His hotel room was identical to your own. I should go. I apologize for rushing you out, but yes, that would be good. Baxter's voice was polite, but laced with embarrassment. He had been gone long enough that you wondered if he actually tried to use his key on your room and failed. Rather than pushing him any farther, you got to your feet. With you moving to leave, Baxter found his shoes very interesting. I hope you get some sleep. Baxter hesitated to reply. You paused, sensing that he would answer. He just needed a little more time to choose the right words. Well, I intend to sleep, but in truth, I don't expect it will be soon. I will be packing after you take your leave, and after that, who knows? You tilted your head, confused but curious. Baxter chuckled and tapped his foot. I said who knows, didn't I? You frowned, defeated. He snorted at you, and it was difficult keeping a straight face. Okay, that's not exactly correct. I'll admit I know myself fairly well. I also am aware of a drink station in the lobby that is open at every hour. There's also a fire that stays lit all throughout the night as well. I'm expecting that instead of being in bed like a proper young man, I will end up in the lobby with a cup of tea. This feels like me yelling at you guys. Get sleep! Go to bed! Anyway, this is on you guys again. You guys get to choose your answer. So choose. Or die. You know, perish. Whatever. My dog licked my ear. As they will. Dogs are also toddlers, the thing. Dogs are also toddlers. We're not going to be doing anything fun, huh? Shake our head? Yep, alright. He really should go to bed and get some rest. Tomorrow would be busy for the both of you. Baxter inclined his head sympathetically, though wasn't too concerned with your disapproval. Not to worry, all will be well. You wondered if it meant he was still going to do it. His eyes twinkled with a familiar mischief. Good night, Rain. Good night, Baxter. You weren't going to be able to convince him otherwise. His bad decision was out of your hands. With that, you twisted the handle and left. You made it to your own identical room, conveniently right next door. The door's deadbolt clicked shut behind you, and you flicked on the lights. Despite the new illumination, the suite was not as bright as Baxter's room. How was Baxter's room so lively while yours was this? You sat in your cold bed inside. All his room was better. A familiar carpet was spread beneath your feet. The walls were a match. The same pictures were attached to the walls. Physically, there wasn't a difference. The change was the fact that you were by yourself. After spending all day with Baxter's grin, you were lonely in the absence. That's where we went with that. I see. But at least that wouldn't last long. You'd see Baxter again soon, one way or another. The last and only full day of your mini-vacation was drawing to a close, and the warm night pressed black and silent against the window panes. You were lying in the spacious bed, flat on your back, staring at the ceiling. You hadn't yet nodded off, recent memories still fizzing in your brain. The woods, the stream, the infamous shirt, and at this moment, Cove knocks on our window. What? Baxter's route? No, this was Cove's all along, and he's coming in to take us off of this route. You wondered if Baxter was in his room right now, or if he'd made good on his threat to sneak downstairs for a spot close to the fire and a non-specific drink. He said tea. He said tea. All right. And while you guys choose this choice, I'm going to look at what was sent to me. She doesn't close the curtains? You know, I don't usually close the curtains as curtains. I'm going to be honest. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's a spinning. He's a spinning. This is so very important. I am going to derail stream for this. This is so important. Okay, alright. We're getting it. There he is! Oh, can I select this one? Alright. We'll get rid of this one and put this one in. Oops, whoops, that's the game. We won't get rid of the game. We'll just put this one in now. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We now have a spinning filbert. I really should add this as like my redeem, shouldn't I? It'd be really funny. But you've never derailed stream before. Yeah, no, never. Me, Angie Lumine, derail stream? No, 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 no. Thank you, Lobert, for everything you've done for us. Thank you for our service. He walked so this could run. Joel has competition now. Oh, this is perfect. All right, 2 was chosen, I think. So curiosity won out. Might as well go and check. Surrounding to the impulse for the little snoopery, you kicked off the bedclothes, sat up, and clambered off the bed. You crept into the hall, which was briefly lit, although all the other patrons were holed up in their rooms for the night. No staff were maining at the front desk. It was dead quiet and still. As you padded your way downstairs, the omnipresent silence seemed like it was something you could touch. A thin blanket swaddling you. Your footsteps and breathing felt muffled. In spite of that, the air was fairly cold. The grand foyer had high ceilings, and the mezzanine floors and wide open space invited a permanent draft. The central fireplace might have come across totally pointless in the middle of summer in California, but that wasn't giving it its due. Now blazing bravely against the chill, it was a welcome beacon of comfort. Glub glub? Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? It's perfect. Yeah, that was really fast. I am very surprised at how fast that was. Surrounding the hearth was a raised stone platform. There you could see a lone seated figure, silhouetted against the flames. It was Baxter, warming himself by the fire. A paper cup was clutched in his hands, a pale film of steam rising from it. He hadn't changed into his pajamas, still sporting his khaki interloper. He must have counted on nobody else being around to see the horror that late. The dull thud of feet on the carpeted floor heralded your approach. His portrait smoothly transitioned from a profile to a 3/4 view. His eyes met yours and he grinned. Rain, what a pleasant surprise. I assumed you'd be abed in this late hour. You couldn't quite get over the way he used the word abed like it was a common slang? Maybe the wealth of fancy upholstery in here was having some kind of rapid aging effect on him. Either that or that khaki had finally infected his brain. I know how to go new. Yeah. You went to Filbert fast. Choose, chat. Just guess what the censored words are from Baxter's face. Oh hey, you can see his eyes through the panel. For some reason I've never noticed that. They're just peeping through. I don't know why I've never noticed that before. Huh. Anything with fish involved? That's not an option choice. Roll eyes? Okay. Is that an option choice? Yes, it is. He sighed, 1/3 an apology, and the other 2/3 an amusement. Still, since you're here now, you might as well stay for a while, don't you think? I guess so. It wasn't always going to end up like this, you thought to yourself. Rolling the thin cup slowly between his palms, Baxter jerked his head over to one side, drawing your attention to a long table up against the far wall. The drink station is over there. If you'd care to partake, a beverage of some kind might be just the thing to top off our late-night rendezvous. Are we getting a drink? Are we getting a drink too, or are we hard passing it? What do you think? I'm so hungry right now, my god. I want food. Someone order me Uber. 3? Okay. Of course, whatever suits you. Baxter scooted over on his perch, patting the stonework with his free hand to indicate that you should take a seat beside him. You plopped yourself in front of the fire, relishing the cozy glow of your skin and the heated slabs beneath you. Baxter was staring absently into the grate. As you sat there with him, enveloped in the warmth of the fireplace and the closeness of his presence, you felt... Come on, guys, say it! What do we feel? What are we feeling? Eat Filbert? After we put so much effort into making him spin? Look, he's spinning. Right round. As if, by chance, like a record. 1. Sleepy, safe, comfortable, like you could have drifted off right then and there. Wow, you're really siding with Baxter this time, huh, Josh? Baxter slowly sipped his tea, and then set his cup down next to him. It's funny. More than once on this little excursion, I found myself forgetting that I'm supposed to be on a summer vacation. Especially right now, curled up in front of a fire, cradling a cup of something hot. It puts me in the mind of long autumn nights, when the days are beginning to waste away to nothing. For anyone who rewatched this stream when it's done, I'm not crazy. I'm obsessed. Obsessed with what? It was either fall asleep or pretend he was excited enough to wake us up. True, you did pick the lesser of the evils. And this decor, too. The wood, the stone, the grandeur. I might have believed myself to be back in my childhood home in Oregon. Really? He lifted a leg up on the edge and tucked his knee under his chin, still focused on the burning light. His expression was distant, wistful. Yes, it's one of the reasons I chose this hotel, as a matter of fact. Though I never lived in a building on this scale, the effect is similar. You could say that I was raised in a big, cool house. Cool in the sense of impressive rather than underheated. That was what my friends used to call it. I loved it when they would come and visit. They were scarcely anything better. They never got over our sense of awe, and I ate it up. I like to think of myself special in those days. To be young and innocent. His features melded into a form that was more familiar, a curt little smile. How strange. Usually I find indulging in nostalgia to be an unpleasant endeavor, but here and now it's easy and nice. I suppose it's because, for once, I can share my thoughts with another person, rather than ruminating on the past of myself. His eyes peeked akin to yours, before returning once more to the flames. We have another option. The Filberts, he's cute. Yes, I did design Filbert well, didn't I? I do love my little Filbert. He's the best thing in this channel besides Oliver. Nothing can beat Oliver. Let's see. Is this the last part of Baxter's DLC? No, it's not. This is chapter 4 of 5, and then there is an epilogue that takes place a few years later. Silence, got it. Baxter sat motionless, save for the lilt of his measured breath and the dance of the flames reflected in his eyes. He could have been part of the furnishings, if not for the stylistic disparity. It hasn't been easy to find anyone to reminisce with, not for a while. But then again, I only developed a sentimentality once I'd gone off to college. I was too young and proud for that sort of matter before then. There wasn't anything in my life to harbor such sentimentality for. I suppose leaving was the catalyst, isn't it? Always. But once that part of my mind had developed, there wasn't anyone around to share the emotions with. My classmates and I. We don't have that kind of relationship. Now, this may be a complete shock to you, but I've been told that I can come across a bit too forward. I know, it can be hard to believe. Your face cracked with a grin. Underestimate of the year, anybody? That seems about right. My intent is to be open with people so we can connect. It almost never works out that way, though. I've had to come to terms with the fact that I don't possess a knack for making friends. It was obnoxiously easy when I was a child, especially due to that aforementioned big, cool house. But now I keep finding myself at a loss for how to do it. With the hit-or-miss endeavor, the vast majority of the time I come up with a miss. Only lately it's been different. Incredibly different. I almost worry my luck won't last. His voice had dropped to a low murmur, barely audible over the crackling wood in the grate. It will be over soon. It was an echo of what he'd said after your hike this afternoon, but this time it went one small step further. I wish I could stay. His eyes were closed now, and a shallow crease had appeared in his forehead. You understood that he was talking about more than your short stint at this hotel. Oh no, he wants to stay longer! We've been too good to him! Chat, quick, choose something! You're our only hope in this! Not that you can choose in the negative, but... only you can save us. 2. It was wonderful while it lasted. Yes, I really think it was. He lapsed into silence once more, becoming engrossed in his own thoughts. You found that you were doing the same. Disparate emotions drifting in and out of clarity. You both lingered a while longer, but Baxter's cup had been emptied and the fire was getting low. Baxter sighed. Unfortunately, we'd best call it quits here. We can't stave off the morning by avoiding sleep altogether. You agreed wordlessly. You stood and went to the stairs in quiet unison, side by side. Down the hallway, outside the doors to your rooms, there was a pause. Baxter cleared his throat. Thank you once again for your company, Rain. It's been an enjoyable evening. Until tomorrow, then. His back was to you as he reached for his rear pocket, fetching his keycard. Good night, Baxter. You unlocked the door to your room and stepped inside, heading straight for the bed. You collapsed onto it, your mind starting to lose its grip and consciousness the second you hit the mattress. A new day greeted you suddenly, and without warning, sunshine streamed in through the windows. The curtains simply stood there, and let it happen, you had forgotten to draw them shut. The end of your miniature holiday had come. You promptly got out of bed and began to pack, following your usual routine as best as you could. You didn't end up seeing Baxter again until after 11 o'clock. He promised he'd taken a lie-in after burning the midnight oil, and had to make a last mad dash in order to check out at noon. Luckily, you managed the departure without too much of an issue. The two of you loaded up the car and set off for home. My dad is playing with a verified Minecraft... What? He's doing what? Fascinating. Home for one of you, at least. While you were returning to your normal life, Baxter was instead exchanging one kind of vacation for another. Or maybe you thought watching the California landscape drift past the window. Baxter was leaving his own version of normal behind right now. The mountainside lodge had been home away from home for him. A simulacrum of his life in Oregon, much more familiar than a sleek condo by the sea. You continued to reflect on this as the road rolled out before you. Occasionally, you would swap comments with Baxter on random subjects, at other times retreating into the privacy of your own head. Rapidly, your time on the mountain was fading into memory. You were lucky you decided to have seen a small piece of Baxter. He had entrusted to you a shard of himself, a tiny spark of light shining from somewhere deep inside. You understood him better, even if only by a fraction. That was probably the only glimpse into the real life of Baxter Ward that you'd get. And that, my friends, is the conclusion of this episode of our life. Next will be the last episode with Baxter. Well, not true. That'll be the last main route episode with Baxter. I'm gonna move Oliver's face now, so I can see you guys. Talk one-on-one with you. So, after this chapter, it will be the last main It will be the last main episode of our life altogether, and it will be the last main episode of Baxter. However, we do have an epilogue with Baxter that we still have to do. The epilogues are very long. It could take 2 episodes to do it. I'm gonna try to do it in 1. That's why I'm gonna start even earlier than I normally do for our life. But that is how it is. So when we do the epilogue, I'm actually gonna start at 1 o'clock rather than 3 o'clock because I'm gonna try to get it done all in one sitting, but that may not be how it works out. We'll find out. I've been told to hold on by space, so I'm gonna try to. How dare you move my child? I'm sorry, it's just so I can see you. Look, he's still staring at you. I'll make him bigger for you guys even. How about that? I'll make him bigger. Look, there he is, staring at you. Isn't he cute? Don't you love my boy? All right, check Discord. Just once more. Okay, what is on Discord? Oh my god. Oh, guys, you can't leave. You can't leave. You have to see this. You have to see this. Okay. All right, this is so important. This is so important. Here he is. Olive Oliver. He's round. If you leave, you miss Olive Oliver. Okay. We have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you missed it, he looks very happy. Of course he does. If you missed it on my announcements at the start of this video, I did say I just opened up a Throne account. It has nothing on it right now, but you guys can suggest me gifts if you are interested in that. Throne is just a website where you guys can send me gifts if you want to. You guys can also suggest me gifts. I thought that this would be a good way that we could get a crowdfund some stuff like new art or a VTuber model and stuff like that, since it was kind of suggested on the last stream. But with that being said, uh-oh, YouTube has an error. Well, I hope that's not going to be too bad. All right. With that being said, I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys sit through these streams of this chaos that's on screen right now. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much. As always, love you lots. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You don't have to, but it means a lot to me, but you do you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!